somehow playing against the big wide V, it just seems to bring out that extra 5%, that extra metre of pace. And I know that Graham Corns, the coach of the South Australian team, will be asking for exactly that from his players. They need to lift a bit on their performance against New South Wales on Thursday night. The New South Welshmen hit them with everything. The rumour is they're a little bit bruised at the moment, but Bill Goggins really has got his Victorian team playing superb football at the moment, and this is the big one. This is the final to set up tonight's play. Let's go to Rob Gaylard and Lou Richards.
Thank you very much, Maxie, and good evening to you. And we're here for this final showdown of this Bicentennial Football Carnival, and what a final showdown it's going to be. Lou Richards, good evening and welcome to you. And I think somehow tonight there's going to be war declared here at Football Park.
Well, I think no prisoners taken, that's what it'll be. But the crowd has certainly built up. It's around about the 20,000 mark at the moment, and they were doing a rehearsal here just to get themselves in the mood. They were doing the Mexican wave, and they started to do it pretty well. But we're getting a bit seasick. But it'll be a great battle, and I think Victoria could still win it.
You're not biased by any chance?
No, I'm not a bit biased. I'm very open-minded.
All right, let's have a look at the Victorian team, and there are a few changes to the side that we know of. But having a look through it, Louis, great performance last night, or a couple of nights ago by Buse, seeing him in there in the back pocket, and of course a few changes to the. I doubt whether Pert will actually line up.
Well, I think that Pert is out. He's got an injured knee, and of course Smith will not be in the lineup. But it's still and Boss is out of it. So, well, of course, the big news there for Victoria is that Brereton's in the side. Whether he takes the field or not, I think he may be used on the interchange bench at the start. But Victoria very revved up and very keen. I was with the boys today, and they're keen to win this match. Of course, I should imagine we can't expect South Australia to play as bad as they did the other night.
Well, let's have a run through the South Australian team. And from the back line there is Hughes. Stretch on the half-back flank. Bradley in the pivot has been good value for South Australia, and Kernahan, a dangerous player in the games that we've seen played so far.
Well, the boy that impressed me very much for South Australia Thursday was number 16 Hall, a magnificent mark. And of course, this boy's signed with Hawthorn. They tell me he's a real champion.
Well, the players into the side, of course, McIntosh and Aish, they've brought them back in, and a few players out. But Stephen Phillips and Barry Breen are down on the boundary line at the moment. We'll see what they've got to report for us.
Thank you very much, Rob. Very blustery down here, and Barry, I can report that Dermot Brereton brought over a pair of iridescent pink football boots, and it was suggested quite bluntly that he not wear them.
Well, we'll be able to see him tonight. He did put them on. It's dark. They might show it will glow in the dark. So it'll be interesting to see what he does later on in the game if he's not getting a kick.
Well, the coaches tonight, a great battle. Billy Goggin coaching the Victorians for the 5th time. He's going for his 3rd win on end. He's a great record as a player, and now as the full-time Victorian coach, he's trying to get that winning touch back into the Victorian side. And if you think the atmosphere around here is bad, these little stickers here are bobbing up all over the ground. Kick a Vic, and there are people in the background with signs up, and Billy Goggin and his Victorian selectors will cop plenty of flack here this evening. But the South Australians are led by Graham Corns, and he's got an impeccable record against the Victorians.
He's got a great record against the Victorians, Stephen. He's undefeated so far and going for his 3rd straight win tonight. I don't think it's going to be easy as in past years. Victoria played extremely well on Wednesday night. South Australia struggled a little bit against New South Wales. But I think it's going to be a great game of football, and Graham Corns certainly will be looking for that 3rd one in a row.
It's going to be a very cool night here. Let's go over to Max Walker to warm things up with the Knuckle Man.
The Knuckle Man, thanks very much, Stephen. Neil Curley, one of South Australia's greatest ever players, and certainly a great coach as well. Neil, you're our expert comments man tonight. Can I get you to concede that Victoria will start this game favourite?
What'd you say?
Victoria favourite?
In your eyes, not in my eyes, Max, no way. And the last, I think, 6 occasions here when these two sides have played, it's been either a kick or 2 kicks separated the final result. And while Victoria were very impressive the other night against Western Australia, people don't realise how good New South Wales were. They beat Western Australia tonight. I think we're in for a great game tonight. It'll be torrid early, the pressure will be on, and it'll be the fittest man standing at the end. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I hope you're looking forward to it. We might take a break at the moment. We'll be back after the break with the bounce the ball.
Men in white tonight in charge of this game. As I said before, Lou, I think war's going to be declared tonight, but I don't know how we're going to try and get some un-South Australian comments out of Neil Curley.
As the national anthem, stand by.
picture tells a story. Paul Salmon on screen there, just reflecting thoughts. I'd love to have a penny for them at the moment. What a great game of football we're going to be in for. South Australia have won the toss. They're going to be kicking to left of screen or the northern end of this Adelaide Oval.
And taking a chance. They're coming into this game with only one ruckman in Micken.
Right, Micken's going to do battle in the centre of the ground for the South Australians. Platten, as the umpire holds the ball aloft. The Bicentennial champion of Australia for 1988 about to take place. Down it goes. In there, Micken over the top as Madden to the ground. Victoria have the first touch of the football. They put it down towards centre half forward. Looking for Salmon. Oh, as Paul Salmon started where he left off the other night. Now he's 45 metres out from goal. We're only 18 seconds into the quarter. And the Victorians have looked like getting the first score on the board.
What a powerful drive through the centre there by Watson. That was a real attack on the ball. And of course, Salmon, Hughes thought he had him covered. He waited, sat back, had a run, but Salmon's height and strength in the air was too much.
Well, Victoria kicking against the breeze in this quarter too, Rob.
Could have kicked 10 last week, or last game, as Salmon's kicks fallen short, not the best. Falls to the ground. The chance now picked up here for Victoria by Royal. Comes out. Fierce tackling down there in the back line. He's got hold of him. Trying to get rid of it. The free kick's going to go Victoria's way. It looks like going here to Morris. Russell Morris is only 40 metres out, if that.
May have been a bit lucky that time, Neil.
Can I have a replay on that, please?
Russell Morris about to shoot for goal. He's only 35 metres out from goal. Almost directly in front. Let's see what he does with it. Right foot drop punt on its way. Looks good. The Vicks have opened their attack. One goal, 1 minute 14 into the quarter, and Victoria got the first on the board.
Well, it's a very good goal. First goal into the breeze. That's a beautiful opening by Victoria. Desperate football back there by the South Australian defence, but Morris must have been... I want to see this. I just can't quite see what it was for.
Well, that goal came at the minute mark of the first quarter, and that's a valuable goal to Victoria, kicking against the breeze. And this is the vital match tonight. The winner becomes the Australian champions. And, of course, South Australia are the holders of the title at the moment. It's Micken against Madden. Madden got the tap down. Waitman tries to force it through. Timmy Watson, McDermott goes down. Bradley's grabbed. It's finally hand passed out to Healy. Oh, there's nearly a free kick against it, but finally to Royal. He was there tackling pretty hard, South Australia, as the ball goes back. No one kicking the ball very far, as Ace gets a quick one off the side of the boot. Out it comes to Timmy Watson, grabbed around the neck. Umpire thought he's going to get a free kick against him for holding the ball. It's Kernahan sending it long. It's a good pass, a good mark to Linda. Now Linda would be about...
I get the distance easy.
I reckon about 40 metres out from goal. The distance shouldn't worry him at all because he's got the wind right on his tail.
He must lead Linda. He can't expect to beat Langford in the air.
Waiting now for Linda to come in to put South Australia's first goal on the board. There she is on its way. It's 1 point. So it's Victoria, 1 goal, 6 points to South Australia, 1 point only into this first quarter of the final of the Bicentennial Carnival Cup. Well, just on 3 minutes.
It's going to be a tough game, this one, Lou. A real hard beauty.
Well, I think they're going to have a dip as the ball comes back into play now by Mew. Madden flew, couldn't hold the mark. It hits the deck. Coming in to meet it now is a chance for Victoria to get clear as Little House gets one back. Finally, it's Williams going for a hurried kick out towards the wing position. Royal wins the weight for the ball, but couldn't get clear. He's got it now right on the line. He's grabbed. They won't give in. A lot of hard tackling. Leslie went in pretty strong for South Australia. They're going to have a dip here tonight, I reckon. They're really going to have a go.
I don't like to see that boot going. I'd rather the player put his hands down.
Ball up again. Knocked out by Micken. Dipper goes in. Chops one from his mate Healy. Finally it's back to Healy from Watson. He said he threw it. And the free kick will go to South Australia. How to take the free kick, it may be Campbell. So there it is again. Do you reckon he threw it?
Well, let's say he didn't handle it.
Okay. Ball driven up there that time by Whittlesey. Mark taken here by Johnny Platt. That's a long kick into the goal square. Kernahan coming across with Langford. Langford's got him covered and the ball is finally pushed out of bounds. About 5 metres around from the South Australian goal. But they're kicking with the breeze. A pretty strong one in this first quarter. And Victoria have already scored a goal. 1 goal, 6 points. To South Australia, a point only.
Langford at Kernahan. Kernahan grabs it out of the ruck. It's going to roll through. Was it touched or has it gone through for a goal? It has. Oh, and South Australia have got there first.
Gillette took the closeness of...
To the centre of the ground, it finds Linda now. Linda's only 40 metres out from goal. And there's no problems about this fellow trying to make the distance. He's going for goal number 2.
No, he's going to kick number 2.
Kick number 2.
Yeah, that's his second mark in the quarter.
Yes, well, if this boy has a night on, he's just capable of doing anything.
Okay, let's have a look at Bruce Linda. Deliberation over the ball, almost directly in front. Linda's kicks on its way, right foot drop pass. Let's have a look at the goal umpire. Signals all clear. Now that's goal number 2 for the South Australians. Linda's first. They go on to 2-1. Victoria 1 goal after that fiery opening. And having a look at Bruce Linda, he looks like he's going to follow on from where he did on Wednesday night.
Let's hope so. And that was good work by McIntosh out of the centre there. This boy is a real goer, and he and Williams could have a classic duel in the middle tonight.
Centre bounce again. 2 goals, 1 to South Australia, 13 points to Victoria, 1 goal, 6 points against the Wind. Just on the 6-minute mark of the first quarter, knocked out by Madden. In goes Morris, down he goes. Watson's got a chance to get clear, he's upended. The umpire will ball this up again at centre field. So it'll be a guard ball up at centre field. 7 points the difference in favour of South Australia. And they're playing for the title, these two sides. It'll be a humdinger of a match. Knocked out by Madden. It's about 4 he's got out. Picked up by McDermott. Up towards Kernahan. Punched out by Langford. It's a wild one. Grabbed by McDermott again, but he's collared. Back it goes to Mickett. Kicked off the ground by Madden. Back towards Williams. There's a chance for Silvani. Shows a lot of strength that time. As the ball is knocked over the wall on the centre wing. Looking for Morris. He found him. And Morris has already kicked 1 goal, but he's a long way out now. Across towards Salmon coming in. But he got under that one, and a good mark taken here by Micken again. So Micken out there at centre half-back. Spotted his teammate out there, and McGuinness out there on that half-back line. Goes a lot of pace. He's a speedy player. Drops it short. There's the danger players, Nailey, McGuinness, and Platten. You've got to watch these guys because they can scoot around the ground.
We got troubles in ruck already. Madden's clearly on top of Micken.
There's the kick by Nailey, goes for a pass. Linda couldn't pick it up. McIntosh has got it back to Micken again. A high kick up towards Kernahan. Got the set, he couldn't grab the mark. Back it comes now. Here's the chance for Hall. A hand pass to Linda, back to Platten. Got a goal. Just over 8 minutes gone of this first quarter. South Australia off to a great start. 3-1-19 to Victoria, 1 goal, 6 points.
Leslie gets it out of the centre of the ground. Out here to Hughes. Well down from that back pocket. Ducks and dives and weaves and gets it out to teammate Harris. Harris onto the boot. Down towards centre wing and dropping and taking a nice mark of Silvani. Stephen Silvani will go back and take the kick and gets a 15-metre penalty here. He's manhandled. Directing traffic out there. Pushing his... player off the mark. Silvani's kicked down towards centre half forward. Down there looking for Salmon. It's 2 against 1. Tries to tap it forward. Dibiadomeni goes in there. Cleverly tapped out for South Australia. They couldn't pick it up. Tried to pick off the ground on that occasion there by Hughes. The umpire's going to give a free kick. It'll be given to Hughes. He was manhandled. And Danny Hughes will defend from centre half back. Hughes' kick into the centre of the ground. Kernahan and Langford. Langford goes to punch, but the punters are there for South Australia. They drive it towards centre half forward. The bouncers favour them on this occasion. Hall snaps, he's offline. Danger player.
Yeah, bad talking there though. There was no communication. Hall was really clear with a fortunate bounce. He could have settled.
Looks a good player, this fellow Hall, doesn't he?
Got some ability.
Tony Hall put it behind on the scoreboard. South Australia 3-2-20. Victoria 1 straight goal. Most 9.5 minutes gone of the quarter.
This game has got tremendous atmosphere.
Due to bring the ball into play again. He's out here looking for Dibiadomeni, but it's fallen short and taken the mark as Nailey.
There's a bad kick in that time by Mew.
Yes, wasn't the best one.
Okay, now Nailey's well within scoring range here. A little bit of breeze. In fact, it's going to float across. So he's going to have to head to the right-hand goalpost. He does that. Is it going to swing back? It's not a bad kick. It's falling short, unfortunately, and punched through from behind.
That's a long kick, that one.
So South Australia 3-3-21. Victoria 1 straight goal.
14 points the difference into this first quarter by just on 10 minutes. And South Australia up to a great start. A far better side than we saw Thursday night. There's a chance for Linda in front. Going over the top as Madden couldn't grab it. Is it going out for Race? Sidestepping beautifully. A snap at goal. It'll go into the goal square. The ball. Great mark. It's got to be a mark to Hall. He's got to pay it.
Well, he should pay it.
He's got to pay the mark to Hall.
Mark with free kick.
Well, he's getting a 15-metre penalty. He came down pretty. This fella's a brilliant mark. He took about 4 or 5 on Thursday night. What's this again?
Well, I'm surprised there's no 15-metre here.
Well, he's got 15. He's taking him right to the edge of the line. See that?
Correct umpire.
So they're 14 points in front. This will put them 20 points in front. And they're off to a great start. But they're kicking with a strong breeze. But Victoria doesn't want to see them get away too far in front, or they'll be in trouble. There's the kick by Hall. It's a goal. Well, different. South Australia looking good. 27 plays 6 into the quarter by 11.5 minutes. For all the Victorian interchange players were warming up. I should imagine there'll be a change pretty quickly. Waitman, Williams and Healy haven't started off so well as they did the other night. Here's a go for Royal. He was grabbed. Ace again. He's grabbed. The umpire still called play on as the ball is shot back towards the centre of the ground. Morris missed it once. Silvani tries to go through. That's Bruce coming through now. Silvani's got it as he sends the ball back towards the half-forward line. It's going towards the boundary now, and Whittlesey couldn't quite pick it up, and it's finally pushed over the line and out of bounds on Victoria's half-forward line.
Victoria's 3 prime movers early last week, or the other night, were Waitman, Williams and Healy. They haven't been sighted yet.
A throw in from about 70 metres around from the Victorian goals. Grabbed by Waitman, but he's collared him. Not letting him get free tonight. There we see the ball kicked off the ground by Silvani. Up there to Hughes. In front of Sam. He's got him well covered at the moment. Ball tapped on again. Pushed out towards. There's Langford showing a bit of strength. Couldn't get clear. McGuinness nearly caught one. Finally picked up by Kernahan. Back towards the centre of the ground. A strong mark taken by Hughes. He goes for a pass. Looking out there now for Healy under plenty of pressure. Down he goes. Was that in the back?
Yes.
I would know it's holding the ball.
Oh, gee whiz. That's a bad free kick against Victoria, that one.
Well, the plan to take it is Matthew Campbell for South Australia. They'll get the ball moving quickly. It comes out the back here to Whittlesey. He doesn't muck around. Down to centre half forward. From the back, a good mark taken in front by Lindner. Danny Frawley trying to punch the ball away from him on that occasion, but Lindner, strong as the Rock of Gibraltar, ball out in front. And now let's have a look. Bruce Lindner has kicked one. See whether he can make it goal number 2. South Australia dominating this first quarter. 13.5 minutes gone. 4-3-27. The Victorians only one straight goal on the board. Bruce Lindner from a 45-degree angle, 35 metres out on its way. And it's as straight as a die. That one split the woodwork. That's South Australia's 5th.
Gee, they couldn't have wished for a better start, even allowing for that first goal against the breeze. They've fought back very well, these boys in the red jumpers. They're working hard around the ground. They're certainly out roving Victoria around the packs, and they've got strong players up forward in the Hall and Lindner who can take good marks. And that's taking the pressure off Kernahan. And the Victorians, they're becoming a little bit rattled. And I would expect now they'll have to try and fight back real hard to stop an avalanche in this first quarter.
Well, there we see Madden going against Micken again. Well, Madden got it down, picked up here by McIntosh. He's a strong-looking customer, too, as the ball comes back to Bradley. Knocked on by Watson. The umpire said it'll be a free kick. There's a box on McIntosh having a go with Williams. They're all into it now. We tip this.
Well, don't take McIntosh on.
No, I wouldn't take him on. I wouldn't like to meet him at my dark alley about midnight.
No, it doesn't matter how hard you hit him, because it doesn't hurt him.
He's got a concrete head, is he?
Well, he's a concrete man.
Oh, is he?
He works in a quarry.
Oh, does he?
He hits rocks all day for practice.
Well, they're still wrestling over there.
A good move by Victoria, though, this, to try and unsettle South Australia. Like, they had to do something to try and stop the run.
McIntosh explaining to the umpire he got whacked on the head. He's been reported.
Oh, you don't report people for that sort of fun.
Well, I don't think it'll worry him, will it?
Nah, look, that's ridiculous when you've got people doing everything and you walk in and pick one guy.
Well, Roos lost his boot. It could have been reported from pitching his boot.
That might be.
A little bit unhappy about that bit of a rumpus because it has stopped their run a little bit.
And look at McIntosh's right eye. There's a nice little mouse underneath it.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, we had the free kick. We're not going to start the blue.
15 minutes gone. 33 plays 6. Victoria trailing by 27 points.
I wouldn't like to be the boy that did that to McIntosh because...
You reckon he'll catch up with him?
I think it was Williams because, oh, yes.
Well, he can handle himself, too, as the ball is kicked down there by Bradley. A long one up towards the full forward position. The pack line. Owen can take the mark. There's Waitman going after it. Clatton's there, too. He can't get out. And the umpire will ball this up for sure, about 50 metres out from the South Australian goal. And they're looking good. 5 goals, 3-33 to Victoria. 1 goal, 6. But they did kick that against the breeze. It's a pretty strong wind out there.
7, where it's actually Madden gets the tap out. High, picked up by South Australia. Into the square again. Lindner, has he jagged another one?
I think it's Hall.
Hall, is it?
Yeah, this boy is...
Oh, they're dangerous, the 2 players up there. If it's not Hall, it's Lindner. Now here he comes from the back of the pack again, gets the fly, comes to the ground.
And they've got Kernahan up there. He's let himself go yet. He can't
Tony
take
Hall's
a mark
kicked one
either, can he?
at the 11-minute mark. Now he's going to go for goal number 2, Tony Hall. Well within kicking range, 30 metres out from goal, 55-degree angle. Hall puts the ball on its way. Goal umpire doesn't move. Thank you. That's another one. Now the umpire about to put the ball down again. 39 plays 6.
Dacos ready to come on the ground for Victoria.
Beacon over the top of the pack, gets it down to the ground. Now South Australia break out. Speed, Aish. Dangerous players had numerous touches to Abernathy. Abernathy onto the left boot down towards centre-half forward. 2 Victorians at home. At the back of the pack there, they stem the tie. That last line of defence through Roos.
It's an important move here. Roos has gone back to defence.
Now Dacos about to come onto the ground as Victoria drive it in towards the centre, but there's nobody home, and picked up again here by Aish. Is he going to be a dangerous player? Early moves in the quarter, any indication? Plenty of vigour being shown out there, and it's going to go in the direction of South Australia. The free kick, we said war was going to break out here, Louis, and it certainly has.
Well, it's a pretty uneven battle at the moment because they're running right over the top of Victoria. There'll be a free kick to McDermott. They've grabbed him around the neck. They've really scrubbed him there.
Yeah, the move is Muoff, and Roos to back pocket on Hall, and Dakes, of course, up the forward line.
Well, we wait now for McDermott. He'll be about 50 metres out from goal. Got the breeze right behind him, and of course, they've got a great made. Chris Muse off the ground. He's replaced by Dacos. Doesn't look too happy about it. There's the kick by McDermott. It's a long kick. Look at that for a goal. How about that? Oh, if you don't mind South Australia.
Gee whiz, what a dream start, Lou. They've really put the pressure on, and they're hunting the ball, and they're getting in front, and Victoria got it. Well, they've got to improve, as simple as that.
7-3-45 South Australia, and that's Victoria score down the bottom, believe it or not. 1 goal, 6 points. And we've played 18.5 minutes of this first quarter. And what a start for South Australia. They're looking at $1 million. It'll be Micken against Matt. Madden's had most of the knockouts. Not that one. Picked up by Platt. Driven out towards the half-forward line. There's a chance now for McGuinness to get clear, but they pile in there, and the umpire will ball it up on the point of the square down on South Australia's half-forward line.
The thing I'm disappointed about here is that there's not more South Australians here to see this football match.
Well, there'd be about 20-odd thousand. Could be a lot more, I should imagine. Ball knocked out by Kernahan. They're winning just about every department. They're piling in. They're going in for the ball as if they really wanted. Victoria standing back, and of course they're winners the other night. We've had Williams, Healy, and Waitman. They've been unsighted. There we see Dermot Brereton. He'll be on the ground pretty soon, I should imagine. And what they're kicking with the breeze, but
She's pack hunting there, Lou. It's real hard pack work in there, and this will suit us.
7-3-45 South Australia to Victoria. 1 goal, 6 points. 19.5 minutes gone of this first quarter, and they're looking good, South Australia.
And gets the tap out to Langford, out further there to Morrow to Watson. Misjudged it. Platten's in there. Silvani over the top will get the free kick.
I make my apology, I want to say, for us.
Well, we thought you married for West Australia. I wouldn't worry about it, Neil. I wouldn't have guessed you one-eyed, Gully.
Silvani puts the ball to centre wing. Underneath it, they're fighting hard. As Dacos will pick up the free kick. I didn't see what it was for.
Holding on, okay.
Bit of Dacos. Drives the ball in short, looking out here for Bolton. And Bolton takes the mark, gets it on quickly across here to Harris. Harris lets fly to centre-half forward. Looking down here for the player at the back there, which was Silvani. Couldn't do it. Now, South Australia defend well to Abernathy. The ball's loose. Picked up here by Hughes. Hughes out wide. Centre wing Platten couldn't grab the ball or couldn't bring it to ground. Now Victoria through Hughes. Cleverly conquers it. Good tackle there by Hall. Play on. South Australia have the advantage. Kernahan has it on the half-forward line. Swings around. There's nobody in the square. The ball's up high. Linger's leading in the race for the ball. There is Crawley. Crawley's going to take it through. Yes, John touches it.
I'll tell you what, he was pretty lucky to get that too. Nearly bounced away from Crawley then, didn't it?
Well, he got there. That was the important thing. It was a desperate defence by Crawley, and he had to do it. And Crawley, of course, is a class player. He knows where to put his body. He's got Lidner covered there.
Now the time on of the first quarter, 7-4-46, 1 straight goal. The ball back from Victoria's full-back line. Oh, should have taken a mark, Daly. Went straight through his hands to the ground. Now a chance here for Abernathy. Drives it back. Who's at home? Crawley from behind. Punched from the side. And forced through for another behind.
47 plays, 6 points. And we're just on the 21.5-minute mark. It's been a great first quarter for South Australia. That'll give them a lot of encouragement. They've been kicking with a strong breeze, but still it's a fine effort as the ball comes back into play now. Well, it's over the pack. There's a chance for Royal to pick it up.
A hand pass coming over to Morris, but it's a hurried kick, and that's how they've been playing. That's how they've been putting pressure on Victoria all night since the very first bounce.
They're a lot sharper around the packs tonight, South Australia, Lou.
Well, they look a lot keen. I think they might have been boxing the other night against New South Wales to give us confidence. Ball tapped out by Micken. There's a chance for Ace to get clear. They've collared him. He can't get it out. McGuinness tries to go for a hand pass. Taken away by Madden after Bertie DP a minute ago. Has to go now for Waitman. And here they mess it up. They're taking too long. They can't get clear. He was lucky to get a free kick here. They messed around for 5 minutes, the two of them. So here he goes for a pass out wide. It's a bad one to Williams. He kicks it off the ground. Going after again is Williams. He's in a bit of trouble. Oh, golly, in went stretch pretty hard. And the umpire will play a free kick for a trip.
Yes, I'll pay the player every time he puts his hands down when there's a boot coming.
Ball to come back. It'll be stretched to take the free kick. Into the quarter by 22.5 minutes, 7-5-47.
Silvani's real sore.
Victoria, 1 goal, 6 points. The first quarter of the championships.
He's gone, Silvani.
Silvani not looking good.
A bad corky.
There's the ball back into play. At the back is Madden. Blue couldn't hold the mark. Silvani's grab goes to try and get through the pack, but couldn't do so. Back to Silvani again, and he'll have to ball it up. On Victoria's half-forward line, but it's a heck of a way out from their goals. It might...
come on, what's this?
So that's Neil Curley. Don't think he's one-eyed, ladies and gentlemen, as the ball goes back towards the full forward position. Sam in one hand. He was grabbed by the other by Hughes, but the umpire didn't worry about that. As the ball goes back now, they all fly. No one can take the mark. Punched out. Good play by Silvani. Now can Madden get it? He can't bend down. It's picked up by Bolton. Bolton goes for a kick, but they're too strong in defence. Oh, Waitman went through pretty hard that time, lifted it up a bit. Danny Hughes with a chance. Salmon a mile away down there at fullback.
Danny Hughes handballs out to teammate in Ace. The break doesn't go South Australia's way. Ace still controls it though. Desperation, good football. Salmon tries to tap it forward, but it goes straight to McGuinness. McGuinness quickly to centre wing. In front, Victoria can't bring it to the ground. It was Ruse on that occasion. Players struggling desperately on that centre wing punt and throws his 2 or 20 cents worth in. Here's Nailey, danger, picks it up, clever, looks for somebody. Oh, that was a half-fake hand pass. Came out the direction here of Campbell. Campbell quickly to half forward. Is it going to stay in play? In front there, Crawley couldn't control it. That ball's gone over the line, some 55 metres around from the South Australian attacking zone.
Yes. Well, it's tough footy out there. Like the Vics know they've got a lift, and they're going to try and find everything humanly possible now to get back in this footy match.
Certainly the most entertaining game we've seen so far of the Carnival. Picked up off the pack here by Watson. Doesn't go far. It's South Australia driving it back to the goal square. Where's Linda? Behind this time. Couldn't grab it, but South Australia have got it. Here's Platten, put it under the boot. South Australia have got goal number 8. Oh, what a flying start for them.
Things are going their way, though. Like they're getting the run of the ball, and that's what you need to win a big footy match. They couldn't have wished for a better start, and the ball is falling. The little men are being very, very good.
That was great play on the part of Hall. He got it out to Platten nicely. See that?
Yep.
That's Platten second. Got his first at the 7.5-minute mark, and he's got his second goal well and truly into time on. That's his 4th kick too.
We keep saying the prime moves the other night for Victoria haven't been sighted yet. Waitman, Williams and Healy.
53 plays, 6. What a start for South Australia. Just on the 25-minute mark of this first quarter. It'll take a bit of running down as Royal gets out of the pack, but it's a hurried kick. He's kicked it anywhere. And a great mark taken here by Bumner. They've really got their confidence up now. And once this mob get in front, they take a lot of running down. The ball back towards the centre of the ground. Oh, flying up before acceptance was Langford, picked up by DP a minute ago. Langford back to Madden. Back it goes towards centre half forward, but they're flying anyway. Dacos lost sight of that. It hits the deck as it finally hand pass. Somebody out the way, but this could be a goal. He better tick it, and the siren will go in a minute. Oh, the big fella's going to lose it. He should have had a shot. Oh, look at the crowd. They're going mad here.
Made a free kick to South Australia. I don't know what for, but there is.
Oh, look, Victoria doing the block a little bit too. They're falling to the old trap, coming in a bit. There's the siren in the first quarter. And what a first quarter it was by South Australia. 8 goals, 5, 53 to Victoria. 1 goal, 6 points.
Australia couldn't wish for a better start. It's very, very hard at the moment to contain Neil Curley here at the moment. Let's have a look at the scores. 47 points is the difference. Victoria, one straight goal. That came in the first minute of play. South Australia, 8-5-53. Did you ever anticipate such a start for South Australia?
No, that's a dream start. But bearing in mind, Victoria have used for a strong breeze now. They're a talented side. They've got heaps of ability among them, and they're capable of kicking the same number of goals with the breeze. South Australia, to stay in this game, must try and pinch 2 or 3 against it, or keep Victoria to a restricted score.
Well, South Australia, the crowd right behind them here at the moment. Let's go down to the boundary line. Stephen Phillips.
Thank you, Rob. Dermot Brereton on for Victoria. Greg Williams with a bit of a gash on his hand, and Stephen Silvani with a cork thigh. They think they can kick 8 with the win, Barry. What about the South Australian camp?
Graham Corns very pleased with the first quarter. Wanted to continue their aggression first for the ball as they were in that quarter, and just work on the defence in this second quarter.
That's the situation down on the ground. Back to you, Lou.
Thanks very much, Stephen. It's a full moon here tonight, and the South Australians have gone mad. There's no doubt about that. It's brought the best out of them. 47 points in front. Victoria kicking with the breeze. There's Dermot Brereton going through for a hand pass. A good one over to Langford. And the ball's driven out towards Morris. Right on his tail is Stretch. Can he get there in time? Victoria badly needing a goal here now. Looking for DP Domenico. Royal chips in, hooks the ball back, but McIntosh in the way. He's a tough cookie. He's already been reported. Over to Little Platten. These little fellas are tearing Victoria apart. The ball is out of bounds. Out of bounds on that half, or on that centre wing position on the outer side. 53 plays 6. And that's South Australia's score. No one ever dreamt of a start like that as McIntosh grabs it again. Over it goes now to Whittlesey for South Australia. The ball out of bounds.
As we anticipated, Lou, Silvani off, and of course Brereton on.
Well, they've been tacking very hard, South Australia. Graham Corns would be tickle-pink with that start. A magnificent start by South Australia. There's McIntosh again. But Gully's a tough sort of a guy. Knocked on by Harris down towards Victoria's half-forward line. But going through the pack now is Abernathy. Couldn't get clear, but he might have got one too high. We'll let go over there to McIntosh. Now it's to Abernathy. He's a toughie, isn't he, this guy?
I tell you what, you crack rocks on this little fella.
I wouldn't start doing it. I'll tell you now. It's Kernan punched away by Langford, picked up by McDermott. They go back into attack now. Victoria still in plenty of trouble. Chance for Roos. They've got him down in defence. He missed that. Picked up by Platten. And look at Johnny Platten go as he sends it out wide. It'll be okay. A chance for South Australia to go back into attack that time. Right down there. Back it comes to Candle. He fumbled, but they'll get away with it. Little Maley couldn't pick it up, but the umpires found a free kick, and it'll go to Hughes out there at half-back.
Andrew Hughes looks for Healy. It's gone over the top of his head. This lets South Australia in. Bradley. Now coming through here is Bolton. Bolton across to Healy again. Healy has a look further up the ground to centre half forward. Brereton from the back. Can he grab it? No. Punches the ball to the ground. Royal couldn't control it. South Australia have it. No. Back again to Victoria. High. Royal puts it up into the square. Yes, and it's got a leg break and gone through. A little bit of luck's gone Victoria's way.
Well, you need that to get back into a football match, and the mistake was up here on the half-forward line for South Australia when Campbell fumbled. They allowed Victoria to gain possession, and that's a good goal, a very good goal indeed.
Let's have a look at Royal spin around on the left boot there. The ball coming in as did in the game prior, and that's his first goal on the board. 53 plays 12. Victoria.
Could be a good duel here with Brereton and Leslie. They're both pretty fiery customers.
Just about to say the Victorian runner coming out onto the ground. Bounce down. Micken. Player struggling. Platten gets it out. The umpire's plucked out a free kick, and there's an altercation at the back of the pack, which I was looking at. It's between Brereton
and Leslie.
So it's a fiery start, a fiery encounter. We'll find out what's going to happen here. It's going to go South Australia's way. Right. Well, who's going to take it?
We've got two good...
Is it still on?
We've got two hard players in our side. One's Leslie and one's McIntosh.
Well, he was measuring Brereton off in that time, wasn't he?
Play underway again out there. They're not going to muck around South Australia. They want to get the ball moving. They're in front on the scoreboard. They're in front on the fights too, in my opinion. Down here to Kernahan in front. Can't do anything. Now they've got a chance. Out here to Platten. Platten from 25 metres. Goes high in the air. Lindner. Yes? No, comes to the ground. Hughes trying hard in there. Picked up by Healy. Booted high. Centre wing. Bolton. 2 against 1, and it's all South Australia, and falling back, taking a good mark is Mark Naley. Now Naley is a player short. Is he going to drive it long? Runs around the man on his mark. Drives it in towards the square. In front, Platten.
Good body work there by Lindner.
Well, and the crowd right behind South Australia. 53 playing 12, and Platten has a chance to put their 9th on the board at the 4-minute mark.
We'll see the replay here, I hope, and it's beautiful body work by Lindner, the block.
Johnny Platten has done exactly what the Victorians did the other day. The small men have done a lot of damage. Platten comes in, right foot on its way. There's no mistake there. Neil Curley claps their hands. That's their 9th.
Yeah, it was good football. That was great pressure football by South Australia to come back. They're really working hard, and they've got a dominant. Now here's Lindner controlling. They've got a dominance across the centre, although Bradley's not firing yet, but their small men are really, really giving the Victorian small men a football lesson.
Platten in front, unattended. And that's his 3rd goal, Johnny Platten.
Played a great game.
Well, I think he appreciates the non-tagging role, Lou, and you would too.
Well, we're back in the centre again, and the scoreboard, 47 points the difference in favour of South Australia. Things looking pretty drastic for Victoria. Back it goes again, punched away from that centre half-back position by Boss. The umpire's found a free kick. It'll go to Healy. Healy, Williams and Waitman were the prime movers the other night, but they've hardly been sighted tonight. Ball, it's Brereton going over the pack. He's got a job to do too with Leslie because he can handle himself, number 17.
Oh, I didn't like that kick going in there.
So it'll be a ball up about 50 metres out from the Victorian goal. Just keep your eye on that number 17 with Brereton. Up she goes again. Micken and Madden knocked out by Micken to the boundary line. Defensive football. And they've bottled Victoria up all night. They haven't given them a chance to breathe.
I think the big trouble with Victoria, they've got to try and find some winners around the pack.
Well, their small men are not sighted, I'm saying, now you've got me following your jargon. The ball comes back now. Waitman yet to have a kick. He's had a couple of hand passes picked up by Whittlesey. There's a go now as we see the ball pushed in the back. The umpire said play on against McGuinness. Campbell, the ball driven up there by Abernathy, well up towards the half-forward line. Coming out the metre is Hall. Roos has got him covered. He grabbed Roos, and the ball will go over the line and out of bounds. We took 3 magnificent marks in that first quarter, Hall, and they've put Roos on him, who started off at centre half-forward to try and stop this bloke from being a danger player. 59 plays 12 into the second quarter, the final of the championships by just on 6.5 minutes.
Darby races around onto the right foot, drives it in short. There's nobody home. Linda's in front. Oh, cleverly scoops it back, but there's Bolton. Taps it out to centre wing. The race is on. Oh, good football. Everything's going South Australia's way, and Stretch did it well. Bradley got it up, pushed over the line. Now the free kick's going to go back here to South Australia. You can see Platten there having a duel with Harris. Now the free kick's going to go back to South Australia, and Lindner's going to take it. See, he's copped one there.
Rob, you said everything's going South Australia's way, but they're making it go their way, Neil, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, they're playing in front. They're using the ball well. Oh, Bruce, that's ridiculous.
Drives it in towards the shorts. Came unstuck. Now Williams has one of his rare touches for the game. Drives to the centre wing. Waitman cops one in the back and will take the free kick on centre wing. Now Dale Waitman. See what he can do with it. Bolton is asking for the handball. Go back and kick it long. Into centre half forward. Brereton setting himself at the back. 2 grabs to the ground. Umpire said no. You got it on the second grab, dropping the ball. Things are tough out there, and Hughes will take the free kick, or will it be McIntosh?
As I said before, that Leslie's a tough cookie. Look at him now when they go and bowl. He won't mess about this guy, I'll tell you now.
No, he's a tough ball.
South Australia want to get on with the game of football. Out to the open spaces, and Stretch takes the mark. He's got a paddock to run in. Tippy Watson couldn't catch him. Platten in front. Chipping in nicely. And South Australia's
15.
ace. Been very, very impressive ace in the quarter and a half of football that we've seen so far. Victoria at the moment are rattled. 4 kicks and 4 marks to ace so far. He's well within scoring distance, in my opinion. Let's see what he does with it. Down towards the squares, it's swinging back. It's going to fall short. Marked in the last line, no to the ground, but the free kick will go Victoria's way. Play on. Going to play the advantage. The handball comes out there from Williams. Out across here to Healy. Healy's kick long, but waiting there is Bubner. And Bubner takes the mark centre wing, far side of the ground here at Football Park. Bubner will drive it long towards centre half forward. Looking in there for Ace again, but in front, almost juggling the ball to the ground. Is it Hall?
Played the push. Hall it is.
And Hall, Tony Hall, has 2 goals to his credit. He's too far out to score for mine. He's going to go for the shorts. Looking for the lead for Lindner in front. Getting a nudge out there was the big fellow in Madden. Simon Madden will take this free kick centre half back for the Victorian side. Tommy Olvin about to come on.
Well, they need someone. Victoria just on the 9-minute mark, and they're trailing by 47 points. The ball still on South Australia's forward line. Roos gets a hand pass to Dipper. He's been pretty quiet tonight too as Bruce goes for a short pass to Healy, making space out there. He's under pressure. Gets around stretch okay as he sends the ball back up there looking for Big Sam, but Hughes has got him covered. It bounces okay for Campbell. He shows a ton of pace. Drives it out wide towards that half-back line. It's going towards the boundary line, and it's out of bounds, but that'll suit South Australia. And the scoreboard, 9-5-59, South Australia to Victoria. 2 goals, 12 points. Waiting for the ball to come back into play. It's been all South Australia.
Boss off, Elvin on.
Nicken and Salmon. Danny Hughes goes for a smack there. Another stack up, and the umpire will ball it up about 50 metres out from the Victorian goal.
A lot of pressure out there, Lou, now. It's being applied by South Australia.
Certainly is. Knocked out by Salmon, comes back to Williams. Good play that time by Leslie. Well, there's a go, as I mentioned before.
They just can't find a winner, Victoria. Certainly not in attack, and nor across centre.
Ball back into play. Micken and Salmon jostling for position. Ball comes to the ground again. Pushed on by Royal. He got one a bit high, but the umpire didn't worry about that, and it's out of bounds again. But this suits South Australia because Victoria are not scoring, and we're over 10 minutes into the second quarter, and they're trailing by 47 points. Waiting for the ball to come back. Knocked out by Salmon. Not a good one. Dacos cops one. A hand pass back to Waitman. A shocking kick.
Good mark. Gee whiz, he picked it up like a slipskate.
Yeah, he certainly did. And that's Leslie again. So Leslie down there in the back pocket position for South Australia. Victoria can't break clear. Chance for Matt. Grabs that one, a good mark. He's tried very hard, this fella too, tonight.
He's had a good game. He's the best Victorian player on the ground at the moment.
So it's Madden going for a short pass or trying to drop it short to Salmon, but he's well collared. Hughes goes the knockout. The ball kicked out wide towards that half-back line. This suits South Australia. They're bottling play up there, and of course, whilst they're doing this, there's throw-ins. Victoria are not scoring, and time is going by. Seeing they're kicking with a strong wind. 11 minutes gone, and still 47 points the difference. Waiting with the ball to come back into play. It'll be Micken against Salmon. The back there is Button. He got the knockout to Bradley. He's collared by Bolton, but the ball is out of bounds. Still about 70 metres around from the Victorian goal.
I think we're getting the run of the ball at the moment to South Australia.
The change to take place for Victoria. Richard Osborne about to come on. We'll pick up who's coming off as Madden tries to get that out. Micken actually got the better of the duel. The handball's off from Bubner. It's heading in the direction of that half-back flank and over the line and out of bounds again.
They're keeping it well bottled up. I think to pay Victoria to try and go right across the ground if they get possession of this ball.
It's a vastly different South Australian side than we saw on Thursday night. The desperation.
I reckon they should be swapped.
I think the crowd has got a little bit to do with it too, Louis. They're right behind them.
Well, Lou, we've had the last 6 years here. These two sides are producing tremendous games of football. There's been nothing between them, and I couldn't possibly see how this game was going to be one way or the other.
Madden and Micken. Plenty of weight being used. Free kick's going to go the direction of Madden.
Hello,
There's someone down at the back there, Nailey.
Yeah, that Leslie's still chasing after Brett. He wouldn't let him go anything by the front of the jump and nearly wrenched his head off that time.
Get you to keep an eye on Nailey for me, Neil. As Madden takes this kick now. He's 50 metres out from goal, Madden.
Good kicker of a ball. It's better than
Let's have a look at the accuracy of it. Simon Madden, the left foot, comes in. He's steered it out in the right direction. It's not going to make the distance, swings back, and it's going to be forced through from behind. So Victoria moved to 2 goals, 1-13. South Australia 9-5-59. And 12 3/4 minutes have gone in this second quarter. South Australia, they hold sway. They come out from fullback. The big fellow dropping back there as Micken takes the mark. Micken, left foot, looking out here for Kernahan. Gives his opponent yards there in Langford, and Stephen Kernahan takes the mark centre wing, or drives towards centre wing. High, jostling, positions, Ruse couldn't do much with it. Aish gets the handball out. Tough customer McIntosh. Creates play, open spaces to Abernathy, left boot to half-back flank. Punched from behind by Bolton. But it's all South Australia. They come to the fall of the ball, put it in towards the full forward zone, but there's nobody home. In front is Buse, trailing him as Nailey. But Buse wins out. Drives it back, nobody home. South Australia, Chris McDermott, there's a goal to his credit. We'll put this one right down to the square. This is his 6th kick. Looking for Lindner. Jostled on that occasion. Balls fall to the ground. The free kick has got to go South Australia's way, and it's on again. Plenty of weight. Who's down on the ground?
You get the free kick.
Well, he's copped a couple of heavy ones.
He's normally a very reliable.
Mark Narley, have a look on replay. Gets driven into the ground there.
Oh, and who...
Plenty of weight being thrown around.
Yeah, well, of course, if you keep hammering these little fellas, they start to lose their zipper after a while, and I guess Victoria have got to try and slow them down somehow because they're controlling the game.
With due respect, they are the prime movers.
Well, they've got to do something. They're not doing much at the moment, Victoria, are they?
Oh, well, you know, our little fellas are just controlling the game at this stage.
Narley lets fly. That one's offline, though, unfortunately, for South Australia.
Normally back him in to kick that.
That was his 6th kick of the football. Narley. On screen, 9:6:60. South Australia, Victoria, 2-1, 14 and a half minutes gone of the quarter.
Ball back into play again. There's a chance for Madden. He's Victoria's best player by a mile. Over to Elvin. A short pass. Looking there for Osmond. He's outsmarted that time, and the ball picked up here now by Bradley on the wing position. He's showing a lot of dash. He's gone for the boundary line. Was that deliberate? I think it might have been against him. He's paid it.
Yeah.
Well, I think he made that a bit obvious, didn't he?
Yeah, well, I don't know about being paid a free. It was certainly a deliberate kick.
Oh, we're not even winning yet, Neil. Don't give us a bit of a chance, mate. It'll be just another ball up and still on Victoria's forward line about 70 metres out from the goal, but they can't score goals. They've only got 2 goals, 1 on the board to South Australia, 9-6 as we approach the 15.5-minute mark. The umpire's found a free kick again. It'll go to McIntosh, and what a tough cookie. They've got 2 tough big cookies out there, South Australia. One number 14 is McIntosh, the other 17 Leslie. He's got Dermot Burton pretty well covered at the moment. Ball back out towards the wing position. There's Kernahan flying. He's coming right down from centre half forward. He's just about grabbed this on the half back line.
Yeah, Langford's got him covered in the aerial duels when they're man-to-man, so he's got to get alone.
Ball got up that time, one hand. It wasn't good enough, and the ball is out of bounds. But this sort of play suits South Australia, kicking against the breeze, Neil.
Oh, yes. I think Graham Corns and the South Australian boys will be very happy at this stage.
47 points the difference.
Cover the back.
Ball back into play, knocked out by Matt. Doing very well. Well picked up now by Langford. Goes for a long kick, looking for Burton. He's got away from Leslie. Got one from Hughes a bit high. Umpire called play on. Hand pass coming out now to Micken. And
Burton's gone. Burton's gone. He's unconscious. He's not unconscious. He's got concussion, Burton. He's in real trouble.
The ball out there on that wing position now, picked up by Kernahan. Well played that time, and by Ruse couldn't get clear, but he scrambles across the ground on his knees to knock it out of bounds.
He copped a bad one there, Burton, and he's a little bit groggy.
Well, he's got a pretty tough cookie out there on that Leslie. It'll be Kernahan against Madden. Madden has dominated the ruck, but to no avail for Victoria. Picked up by Ruse. The ball back towards the centre of the ground. Coming out to meet it now is Osborne. Going after is Campbell. Good play by Osborne. There's 2-on-1 there. Burgess and Campbell go with him. Burton went into Burgess. Couldn't get him. Down goes Campbell. And Osborne got him too high, and he'll take the free kick. Burton going mad at the umpire. Didn't you see that happen to me, he said before.
Well, you know, things can go either way, but you've got to keep having a go at the ball occasionally.
I'll say you do. Back in the centre again. It's Micken with the mark. He's down towards centre half back. Victoria really in the hot seat as the pack fly has a go now. It's Abernathy over to Platten. He's already kicked 3 goals. He's had 9 kicks and a good strong mark taken by Ruse in defence down towards the back pocket position.
There's a chance
to come into the game now as Victoria have got a paddock here. Picked up by Waitman. The handball's on to Williams. Williams for kick number 3. Drives to centre half forward. It's going to go over the top of Salmon there. And Danny Hughes playing a good game in defence so far tonight.
Well, the kick was terrible. I didn't give Salmon a chance.
Good judgment. Hughes to centre wing. Falling a diving mark. Picked up on that occasion by Michael Aish.
Well, they've had great players in Ace, Platten, and also McDermott. The little players, and Nailey's been a dangerous player too.
Yeah, the kick is high, centre wing. Punch to the ground. Alvin has a chance now, picking up the ball, driving it in towards centre half forward. Dacos trying to control it, does so. Clever, grabbed a little bit too high or too long. Let's see what the decision is. It's going to be too high.
Correct decision.
Peter Dacos, and you can see the mark of Dermot Brereton on your screen.
Nasty face there too. He's had a whack on the lip. He's going mad.
Comes down, Hughes. As a fresh air shot goes high in the air.
What's our story, Lou? You live by the sword, you die by the sword.
That's the way it goes.
He had a minute ago diving on the ball there, just about 20 metres out from the Victorian goal, and the umpire will put a ball up.
You know, I think a couple of Victorians may have had the thing they could have outmuscled a few of our boys, but that won't take place.
Salmon, it is in there. Williams. But it's all South Australia. They've got time. The handballs to Platten. Platten in towards the centre of the ground. The handball's on again, back to Platten. Beautiful football, South Australia. Out to the open spaces, looking for Nailey. He's got time to look and judge. Grabs the ball, looks for somebody further up the ground. Although they're going to be outmanoeuvred here on this occasion. Bolton came across the back there of Bradley. Almost came unstuck. Danny Frawley desperately trying to get the ball going forward. Will get the free kick for getting a nudge in the back.
Well, time's running out for Victoria to do something in this quarter. Like South Australia have bottled them up brilliantly, and they just haven't allowed them anything up forward at all to kick to.
19.5 minutes gone of the second quarter. Danny Frawley takes the free kick to centre wing. Grandstand side. Looking for Madden. Yeah. Madden, 2 grabs, yes.
He's done everything, Madden. He's really tried to lift the side, and he's had very little support at this stage.
Undoubtedly Victoria's best player on the ground so far. A lone effort. Simon Madden drives it in towards the centre, looking for Dibby Domenico. He's a long way across from his wing. He's off. Dodges one. Comes back onto the right boot, looking for Alvin. Ducking back, trying to mark the ball. Outmanoeuvred. Campbell in front. Won't come up. The ball's going to go over the line and out of bounds.
Once again, Victoria just can't get smooth movement.
Emmett Brereton not looking too good. Got a nasty knock on the face there. He's pretty unhappy about it, and I don't blame him. Ball out of bounds. Out there on Victoria's half forward line. Chance now for the ball to be picked up by Dacos. Looking there for Salmon. Couldn't hold the mark. He's not grabbing them tonight.
He only had Platten to beat too.
There's a hand pass coming over. A ball driven up there by Hughes.
Lucky. Things are going South Australia's way.
Well, Kernahan's got a mark. They're doing what they like now. There's a go now for Abernathy to send the ball right up towards the full forward position. Hall having a jostling match there. All go. There's a go now for a goal. He's only got to pick this up. He's grabbed.
Oh.
Hall grabbed. He could have got clear, and the umpire said it'll be home the man.
Gee, there were panic stations there though from Hall. That should have been a clean take and an easy goal.
I think he might have been lucky to get that free kick for holding the man. Just the same.
I think it's a bit high, Lee, you'll find.
Got him on the head.
Bit high.
Well, okay, let's see. He's got the free kick, and this is a dangerous one again for Victoria, because they're still trailing by 47 points. This will make it 53. If you don't mind, no one dreamt this had happened. What's he done with it? It's a goal.
I don't know if they can get back in now, Victoria. Because they just can't find a winner, Lou. There's no... Madden is their only clear winner on the ground, and he's not a running player. He's just controlling the ruck work and the aerial duels, and Victoria just haven't got any little men around the ground creating the run.
Well, we're just on the 21.5-minute mark, and it's 66 plays 13, 53 points the difference, and things are not looking too good for Victoria. That'll be the understatement of the day, I reckon. And of course, they've got the crowd right behind them here. The only one's barracks for Victoria, the head trainer and a couple of training staff, and a few commentators we know pretty well. Down goes Healy, couldn't get clear. A hand pass comes out now to Bradley. He's grabbed by Di Domenico, and the umpire said he'll be dropping the ball. Victoria kicking with a strong breeze this quarter, but can't do anything about it.
Madden through in the middle, missed him.
There's the kick down towards Salmon, but they've covered him like no. There's a chance for a goal now. Waitman's only got to pick this up. Go for a hand pass. A bad one it was, but he got it through.
Beautiful hand pass, that. Now, he gave the hand pass in front of the running player, and Osman, of course, just following the ball down.
Well, that's a badly needed goal, if you don't mind me saying. There's the sound that went the second quarter, and what a quarter it was. What a quarter it was. 10 goals, 666 South Australia, and Victoria 3-1-90. They haven't been in the race all day. We've got to say full marks to South Australia. They've gone in for the ball really hard, really had them.
Yes, as good as South Australia's first quarter, Lou. That was equally as good. That was great stuff there. They really kept the pressure on. Their defensive work was good, and they just didn't allow the Victorian players to get any free running movement. They're small players, and the 3 match winners on Wednesday night, namely Healy, Williams and Waitman, they've hardly been cited. Well, we've only had 1 or 2 good players, and no doubt the best player we've had is Madden, but you look through the South Australian lineup, the little men are cut us to pieces. Johnny Platten's kicked 3 goals. Nailey's been a dangerous player. Ace has bobbed up all over the place, and of course their defence has been superb, with Leslie playing at centre half back, doing a great job, and not forgetting Danny Hughes and the rest of the players down there really backing him up. Yes, well, the first half, of course, has been all South Australia, but they'd have to go in there and have a real good think about it. They wouldn't want to come complacent. They'd want to concentrate like 100% and really be ready for the next third quarter. It's a vital quarter, the third quarter.
So at the half-time in this championship, the grand final, we see South Australia doing very, very well indeed. 10-6-66 to Victoria, 3-1-19.
Well, certainly it's all happening here at Football Park. If you're a South Australian, the crowd are loving it. They've got the dancing girls. In fact, the ball going just about every way South Australia could possibly wish. The scoreboard hasn't moved as far as the difference is concerned in the second quarter. 47 points the difference at the end of the first term, and now still 47 points. The Victorians really struggling to score with that breeze. And of course, one of the prime movers out there for the South Australian team is Stephen Kernahan, along with a lot of other players, but the captain of last year's Carlton Premiership side, Stephen Kernahan, has got a lot of fans here, and our Anne-Marie Sparkman caught up with him yesterday.
He is one of the game's great natural talents. Undoubtedly Australia's best centre-half forward, he is also one of the best marks in the business. Kerners to his teammates, this easygoing champion has the football world at his feet, and he is just 24. Kerners played 136 games with Glenelg in South Australia before being wooed across the border to Carlton, but the powerful Blues had to do a lot of talking to clinch that deal.
Carlton have been speaking to me since I was about 16, and I played 5 years of league footy here, back home in Adelaide, before I finally made the decision. So it certainly took a lot of time. It took me 5 years to decide to come. So certainly hard leaving all the blokes who've come, grown up with and played footy with, and especially leaving the family as well.
The star forward has had a dream run in the senior ranks. One success has followed another.
It's been a pretty good last couple of years. Winning a premiership in '85 here with Glenelg, and then finally making the move to Victoria and to playing a premiership side last year and to captain. It's certainly a great thrill, and it's another year now, so I'll be looking forward, and hopefully things can go well this year.
The local boy who has made good in Victoria says he will definitely return home to Adelaide one day. And when he takes the field tonight at Football Park, there'll be no question of mixed loyalties. He'll hit the Vicks with everything he's got.
Well, I'm still South Australian deep down, and it's always been the SA's love to beat the Vicks, and that's still the way it is. And even though a few of the Reece and Tommy Alvin and Steve Savani and that are playing in the Vic side from Carlton, there's certainly been no love lost when we play.
Kernahan doesn't believe either side will blitz the opposition. He's looking forward to a very tough match.
Well, obviously it's going to be a good game. The Vicks looked really good the other night, and they copped a good night for footy, and last night we perhaps may have struggled in perhaps windy conditions, but I think last night we really needed a good hit out. It was a hard, tough game, and should stand us in good stead for tomorrow night, and we're quietly confident.
Quietly confident, that seems to be an understatement. The fireworks still continuing here at half-time. The crackers going off in the background, and of course Stephen Kernahan captained the Carlton side to a premiership, a man that went very close to playing a dream actually for him. Robbie Flower, the Melbourne Football Club captain, is over here at the moment, and he's going to be one of the men that select the All-Australian team. With him at the moment is Stephen Phillips down on the boundary line.
Thank you, Max. Yes, the All-Australian team and the award of the Tassie medal to the best player in the First Division. Two of the highlights. Robbie, you're going to help pick the All-Australian team with Neil Curley, former South Australian captain and coach, and Billy Walker, the triple Sandover medalist. It's been quite a task.
It certainly has, because of all the divisions that are playing. We've had to be here for every game that has been played. And then once you pick out the better players from the other states and line them up against the Victorian, South Australians and so forth, I suppose you have to make a little bit of adjustment for the difference in class of the actual games being played. So from the 340 players that have been involved, it's been a difficult job.
Okay, so we might see some Northern Territory or VFA players in the All-Australian side?
Yes, there's a possibility that they will make the All-Australian side, because they have played terrific football. And what you have to think of then is, say, for example, a centre-half forward comes up from one of those sides. You're putting up against a Kernahan or a Roos who have played particularly well in the early game. Are they in that class, or do they miss out altogether? We've had a difficult job, and there could be a few surprises.
Glad that that one is your problem. The job of picking the Tassie medalist. Just to explain, the Tassie medalist was named after Eric Tassie, famous football administrator. It's been awarded since 1937. Some great players over the years have won the award, including Polly Farmer, Barry Cable, Brian Dixon, Alan Aylett. Brad Hardy's won it twice. Yep. Mark Nailey and Dale Waitman. So once again, a different system though for the Tassie medal.
Yes, the umpires get the vote out on the ground for the Tassie medal, and the selectors for the All-Australian side have been given an independent vote. So what we've been doing is actually pooling our ideas and putting in a 5-4-3-2-1 system, and hopefully come up with the right choice of a Tassie medalist.
Robbie, well, the fireworks going on in the background, I'm sure some of them emanating from the Victorian rooms. We'll be back a little later. We'll name the Tassie medalist. The All-Australian side have a little bit more after this break.
Well, the full moon looks very, very nice, and a few rockets going off, and no doubt a few being delivered by Bill Goggin in the Victorian dressing room. One man who really can't wait to give us a little bit of a summary on the first half, and I've gone shy at the moment, Neil. I don't know what to say.
Oh, look, that was a dream half of football for the South Australian team. Their application was first class, their concentration was great, their dedication and commitment was superb, and I think they should have saved a couple of those rockets and given them the Victorians. They put them, you know, where they might need them. But you know, I'm a proud South Australian, always have been, and I'm really proud of what's happened out there in the first half. But we have to go on with it. No doubt about that. Like, some of the marking by the South Australian boys is probably, well, that's a fluke goal by Kernahan, and that's all you can say. But the concentration was good. But some of the marking by the South Australian boys has been first class, and the only winner that the Victorians have, of course, has been Madden. Their small men haven't been sighted. We had Wednesday night, we had people like Healy, Williams and Wakeman, who destroyed Western Australia, just haven't been sighted. Great mark by Hall. And our little boys are just, they love the freedom. They're not being tagged, and they're just appreciating that.
Victoria too much vigour, not enough eye on the ball.
There's nothing wrong with vigour. You know, every side has to have vigour, but it must be controlled. The vigour must be at the ball, no good at the body. Like the attack must be on the ball, and if the vigour carries your body through an opposing player, that's fine. But the intent must be to get the footy. Here's a very good goal here for Victoria. Oh no, sorry, that was a stop by Danny Thorley. That would have been, gee, that would have been the last nail in the coffin. That one, that would have gone through. But no, the Vicks are no doubt the brain trust down. I just tell you, wouldn't there be steam coming out of his nostrils? And Brass would be puffing on his third cigarette down there now. And you know, they're a bit confused. They'll have to sit down on a little think tank and just wonder how they're going to get back in this game. No doubt we'll see some changes. But I think if South Australia with this breeze, well, look at the stats. Have a look at that. That speaks for itself, doesn't it?
Well, the number of possessions there, kicks there, 30 more kicks, and the marks, well, that tells a very big story.
Free kicks line ball, which is great. But at this moment, South Australia clearly on top, but they must produce a good first 10 minutes this third quarter.
Well, certainly thanks for that, Neil, and you don't have to be Albert Einstein to work out there numerically the sort of thing. We might take a break and cool down a fraction.
Well, it's a very parochial South Australian crowd here that welcomed their side back onto the ground. And the Big V, they're copping a little bit of flack at the moment. And the big question, I suppose, Luke, can you see them getting back in the game?
Well, not. They're 47 points down, and they're kicking against the breeze in the third quarter, and their form in the first half, you couldn't possibly see them getting back. But I noticed that they've brought Brereton back onto the ground. He got a nasty knock in the face, and apparently it was Hughes coming through, but it was an accident. It was fair. It was a shoulder, I think he got him with, Neil.
Well, Brereton was down low with the ball, and the shoulder just took his head.
But Brereton's got to lift his game, but it's a heck of a distance to pick up 47 points. And on their form, I think you mentioned in your summary there, which incidentally was very well summed up, even though you were favouring South Australia. I don't mind that too much.
I make no apology.
But Madden is certainly Victoria's only player, really.
Yes, he's controlling it.
Well, play about to get underway in this third quarter, and South Australia at the moment are dominating this game. They look like as if they're heading in the right direction to be champions again. They're the reigning champions. The ball out of the centre of the ground. Here's a chance for Watson now. Oh, couldn't get boot to ball, pushed off the ball. Brereton comes through, took eyes off the ball and looked at the player. It was Whittlesey almost took with him on the way through. But South Australia, Brereton again throws the body in. Plenty of weight being used. Well, Jimmy Domenico having a tussle there with Abernathy, but Brereton's...
Well, he's going for Whittlesey. I think he's trying to even up a bit, but as Neil Curley said, he's a pretty dangerous character.
It's pretty hard to follow the ball and follow the likes of Brereton at the back there. On that occasion, it was Langford punching forward. Victoria into attack early. This falls into the arms here of Leslie. Leslie gets the handball to stretch from that half-back flank. Looking out here for Bradley to the open spaces. Daly got the running shoes on, drives in towards centre half forward. Lindner, no, it falls, picks it up in the half volley, trapped it well. still battling hard. The ball's going to beat them over the line and out of bounds. Almost tangled up there as the boundary umpire. Could have got a kick for himself. Victoria. Alban forces over the line, and Richard Osborne couldn't control the ball on that far side. Well,
it's a torrid opening, and we expected that. Victoria have to try something. I have to go in with all boots shining and really try and do something here.
Micken and Madden jostling. Micken gets the tap down to Platten onto the boot as quick as lightning. But Dippy Domenico drops back to centre-half back, plays on quickly onto the left boot, drives it out to the opposite side of the ground. Madden couldn't control the ball. It's going to be players over the line and out of bounds.
It's get the ball and kick it by the Victorians now. They're not looking. They're not constructive. They're not trying to get some run, and they're not trying to create some open play.
Well, I reckon they've got to go straight down the ground. That's the best way to go. The shortest way if they're going to have a chance of winning this game. Osborne. And the ball's driven well up towards the centre-half forward position. Nearly a mark to Morris. Is he going to pay it? Yes, he is. Pretty close.
I thought the man in front was always paid.
There's the kick by Morris up towards the full forward position. Salmon's been pretty well held today. He goes down. Silvani goes clear. He's grabbed. He can't get out. It's on the ball. Hey, golly, they've tackled well tonight, South Australia. You couldn't default their tackling, and their ground play has been superb. The little men have been everywhere. They've got a couple of tough nuts in this side, too. Mark dropped that time by McDermott, the captain, but he recovered okay to kick it well down in defence. Down goes a chance now for Crawley. Copped one a bit high. They pounce on top of him. They're not giving any latitude at all. The Croatians, they're really going after Victoria. And Victoria trailing by 47 points.
The tackling's been superb tonight, the South Australians.
Just on the 3-minute mark of this second quarter. And they're kicking with the breeze. Out it comes to Ace, spins out the pack, back to Kernahan. A hurried kick down towards the forward pocket. Bounces the wrong way for Victoria. Nailey goes for a hand pass. Well intercepted that time by Victoria. And the ball shot across towards the deep Domenico, having a great battle there with Abernathy, and the ball is out of bounds. So it's out of bounds about 40 metres around from the South Australian goal. Victoria got to try and keep them goalless in this quarter. They're going to have any show at all because 47 points is a long way down the drain. Knocked out by Kernahan. Ball picked up by Mew back on the ground again. Well, Morris gave one there to go on with, two towards Campbell. Didn't quite connect him. Picked up by Domenico. He kicked Morris in the face with the ball. Picked up by Mew again, but they're putting pressure on Victoria. They can't get an even break to get clear. And the ball is finally, well played by McGuinness. Put it back into play, but no one there for South Australia. It's Harris to come out of the pack. Drop it short, flying high as Osborne. Couldn't hold the mark. Timmy Watson grabs it nicely. A long hand pass coming over to Healy. Healy back to Williams. It's been unsighted tonight as he goes for a pass. And it's a good one. Salmon well out. Back to Morris. Morris goes for a kick, but it's a wild one. It'll be out of bounds.
Just took the line, Lou.
So just over the 4-minute mark, it's South Australia. 10 goals, 666 to Victoria, 3-1-19.
First semblance of running football by the Victorians, and they used their running players nicely. Got the ball moving, and they looked a threat then. And of course, they've got to do more of it.
Undoubtedly the best game of the whole carnival. So it should be. The grand final. Champions 88 of this Bicentennial Carnival. Silvani tries to weave his way through, almost threw the ball away. Pushed in the back there, will go Victoria's way. Underneath it is Williams. Platten's not going to let him up in a hurry either. Now, Greg Williams, if he gets this free kick, is going to be probably pushed around on, what's that, a 75-degree angle. He's going to try and crib a little bit.
He's a bit hopeful that he thinks he can kick it from there. He'll have to come right around, and it's a very difficult kick with the breeze floating the ball right across the face.
Yeah, this is Williams' 8th kick.
He'll have to back-check this a little bit.
South Australia 10-6-66, Victoria 3-1-19. A badly needed goal if Williams can steer this one through. He can't, I don't think.
Across the face.
So Victoria go to 3-2-20. South Australia 10-6-66. Been some great individual duels on the wings.
They're mostly won by the South Australians, incidentally, too.
You know, I think Brereton's done it. Not Brereton, kick. Falling back there is Silvani taking the mark.
They've got back in the game
at the moment, though.
Not really. They've got back in the game here, Victoria. They're holding South Australia well.
Silvani looking for Salmon down in front on this occasion. And Salmon takes the mark.
They've opened a lot better this quarter. They've kept South Australia scoreless, and they've got a chance here to kick a very valuable goal. Well, a much-needed goal against the breeze. I'd say he'd get the distance. The accuracy is his only problem.
Why have you got your fingers crossed? Could I ask that, Neil?
I've got my legs and everything crossed, Lou.
Salmon yet to get a goal so far in the game.
Low wind.
45 metres out from goal. Almost in front. Ball's on its way. Is it going to stay in? It swings back nicely. That's a goal.
Yeah. Presenting.
The scoreboard tells the story. Ibieta Mendigos had 5 kicks. Abernathy's had 7.
Brought out towards the wing position. Langford went for McIntosh that time. Miss Kernahan comes in. Alvin goes down. There's a chance now for the ball to come out from McDermott. Over it goes now to Ace. Ace up towards the forward pocket. Roos with a beautiful mark.
Good mark.
There's a box on there. Lindemann and Crawley are having a go. Look at this.
Well, Danny's a pretty fiery customer. He doesn't like any of his teammates getting dealt with, and I think Roos may have copped one a little bit late. Well,
that's the Irish coming out in Danny. Danny takes that one. We see Crawley go for a hand pass to the umpire, bringing it back into this third quarter. The final of the Bicentennial Championship. 7.5 minutes gone. 10-6-66 South Australia to Victoria, flagging 4 goals to 26. Madden at the back. Goes the tap on a beauty. Comes back to Mew, but he fumbles. There's a chance for Silvana. He's lifted his game too, but goes after the game, but he goes down. There's a chance for Campbell. He actually threw that out. Picked up by Abernathy now on that half-forward line. Goes for short pass. It's a bad one, but it's Micken picking it up now. McDermott looking for a kick up there towards the full forward position. Linda's there. Frawley goes to punch. And the umpire's found a free kick to Frawley. It'll go against Linda for hanging on. 40 points the difference. Can Victoria get back? There's still plenty of time if they're good enough, but they certainly weren't so hot in the first half. Out it comes towards Bradley. It'll beat him and the ball is out of bounds, but it's still on South Australia's half-forward line, about 70 metres around from their goal. 66 plays, 26 in favour of South Australia, and they've been looking good, but Victoria certainly have lifted their game in this third quarter. Little Johnny Platten already kicked 3 goals. Drives it up there. Forced out that time by Crawley now on Linda, and the ball is out of bounds.
He's a great hooker of a ball around the pack, around his body, Platten.
Waiting now for the ball to come back into play. A chance for South Australia to score. It's only about 10 metres around from their goal. Madden against Kernahan. Madden gets it down again. Platten missed that. Linda missed it too. Crawley's going in. The umpire said it's out of bounds again. But it'll be a penalty free kick down there in the back pocket to Victoria.
Healy takes the free kick. Drives it out towards the half-back flank, up from the back of the pack. Nobody there. Now here's a chance here for Morris to get the ball out. Does so. Victoria drive it. Looking up here for Brereton. He's in front. Takes the mark on his chest. And Dermot Brereton to the applause of the crowd.
They're starting to move a bit now, Victoria.
Out to Watson. Watson's got plenty of space to run. Looks for the shorts. Out here to Waitman. And Dale Waitman takes this mark 60 metres out from goal. 50 metres out from goal at least. On the mark there is Whittlesey. Waitman too far out to score, only having his 3rd kick for the match. Drives into the goal square. It's a high drop punt. Going to fall short, looking for Salmon. Nudged out Brereton, tried to come over the top and grab it. Waitman in underneath, uses his body. Desperation, but here's Ace again. He's been dominant in that back line. Takes plenty of time, drives it out towards no man's land and forces over the line. Is Hughes for Victoria.
South Australia have lost their sharpness quite a bit. Victoria right back in this game. I'd say South Australia have to kick 2 or 3 goals this quarter to be safe.
It's Madden and Micken to do the ruck work. Micken has the front spot. Madden tries to get his body in, goes high out there towards Platten and Williams. Williams in front, cleverly back to a teammate. It's gone over the line. No, still in play. Victoria doing it hard. Healy wheels around, looking for Osborne. Osborne picks up, back to Healy, left foot, further down, looking for Waitman. He's in front, comes to the ground. Now, Victoria throwing their weight in. Waitman's in everything over there, but it's very, very scrambly play. Watson gets it out to Healy again. Healy looking for a lead. Where's Brereton? Couldn't drag it in. Desperation. South Australia. Hughes high towards the centre of the ground. 2 against 1. Here's the runners. Coming through here is Whittlesey. Out to Kernahan. Kernahan to McDermott. McDermott's got the running shoes on. Oh, from 55 metres out. What a magnificent goal. Has it gone through? No, through from behind. Oh, what a great goal that would have been.
Yes, that was a beautiful bit of movement, and McDermott could see the goal square was free, and he took the long shot. He was just offline.
Well, that's the only option he had left open to him. There was no one up there to kick it to. Roos to bring the ball back into play again. 67 plays 26. South Australia still dominant. Big Madden has 2 grabs. Has a look at the umpires and say, what else have I got to do to get it? Well, Johnny Platten jumping up in the air trying to tap it away. Goes for the handball. Oh, coming up down. There's no confidence in Victoria's play at all at the moment. Well done, Platten. Clayton and Buse exchanging words and blows. I don't think they'll be sitting beside one another perhaps at the dinner table tonight after the game. Big Madden gets himself up off the ground.
Well, you expect this type of pressure and feeling in a game such as this. These boys are out there giving their all for their state, and they're committed. And there's going to be a few cobwebs brushed around.
That's right. Into this third quarter by just on 12 minutes, 41 points the difference in favour of South Australia. Knocked out by Kerner and back there to McGuinness. Ball driven up by Healy again over the half-forward line. A chance for Whittlesey to grab that one, but Waitman's there with him.
Waitman to the ground.
And Waitman out there, and they're all battling there, but finally the ball is driven up by Silvana, who's played a lot better in this third quarter over the top of the pack. But there's a chance now for the ball to be picked up by Leslie, a very strong player, as he shoots it back towards that half-back line. Picked up again by McGuinness. Out it goes to Whittlesey. McGuinness backing up well, gets a hand pass out, and the ball finally driven over the half-forward line by, up towards the half-forward line by Burgess. Harris run into his own mate that time. He's grabbed by Platt and gets it back now to Roos. His kick is not a good one. Now it's picked up by McDermott. There's a chance for a goal to Nailey over to Kernahan. Too long. But Kernahan's got time to recover. Not a Victorian inside. He straightens up, steady, fires. But he's golden. Well, that was a great goal. Well, he was a bit lucky to get it in the final. 73 plays, 26. South Australia still looking very, very good indeed over the 13-minute mark. And it's back out there to Platten and Buse having a great battle.
Good player, Buse, in that back pocket. He's a former Rover, of course. He knows all the tricks of the trade, and he's a very solid little customer.
Waiting now for the ball to come back into play. It's about 75 metres around from the South Australian goal. They're kicking with the breeze in this third quarter. Madden and Kernahan knocked out by Madden. There we see McGuinness trying to crash through the pack, but the umpire will ball it up. Still about 70 metres out from the South Australian goal. Getting ready to come on the ground is Bolton. I think they need more than Bolton at the moment, as we see Waitman go for the ball on the boundary line. They're trying to squeeze it out. McDermott got into him there, and the umpire said it'll be a ball up. And it's still about 75 metres around from the South Australian goal.
I'm surprised Waitman hasn't been a more damaging player, because Madden's been superb in ruck.
The feature of the play, Neil, has been the South Australia's tackling. They get that boundary throw in, heading up here towards Roos, and Roos drops across, takes a nice mark. Now, the trouble is he's got no one to give it to on the grandstand side of the wing. He's got to go for a run. What are they going to do? The handball comes backwards to Buse. Now, Buse is going to go for a run, but there is still nobody home. Osmond's down here on his own.
A little well.
To Frawley. Now they're starting to draw the play up the ground. Frawley gets it inboard to Alvin. Alvin ducks around. Is he going to get away? He's going to get caught. No. Gets the boot to ball. Centre wing. Osmond down. There to help support. Give support there to Healy. Comes across. Half-back flank. South Australia are going to get out of trouble after all that. Missed kick almost finds McGuinness on the chest. Desperation there by Victoria. And Russell Morris throws himself on top of the South Australian there in Burgess. If he had a Menico off the ground.
Yes, well, he hasn't had a big night.
Umpire to put the ball down again, centre wing. 5 kicks he's had so far. As Dippy Domenico punched on cleverly by Abernathy. There's a chance for Waitman. Outmanoeuvred here by Nailey. Nailey gets it back to a teammate. Here's Leslie. Leslie right foot to centre half forward, looking for Platten in front. Buse taps it to the ground. Good duel. Buse gets the handball out to no man's land. Burgess. Williams it is that comes across. He's dispossessed very quickly. Platten picks it up and snaps. It's high up in the air. It's all Victoria, and Paul Roos takes a good and a well-judged mark.
Well, thank heavens that Roos is down there for Victoria's sake, because he really held that defence together in this third quarter.
Yes, he's stopped the Hall since he's come on the ground as a defender. He's gone to the fence. He's stopped Hall dead.
Well, the handball line came undone by Victoria on that occasion. South Australia capitalised on it. And silly football from the Big B. McGuinness now has a chance to turn around and put South Australia's 12th goal on the board.
South Australia's quickness with their legs and their handball, and they're looking up and seeing a player in movement, has been very, very good.
Tony McGuinness about to have his 8th kick. Let's have a look at it. Out to the right-hand side. He's headed off the right direction. In fact, it's going to be punched through, or it's going to be forced through from behind. Victoria, 4-2-26, trailing South Australia badly, 11-8-74. Crawley about to bring the ball in. Long kick. Victorians have been really battling on that back line and chipping in nicely, taking a good mark there is Campbell. Matthew Campbell put the ball back. Looking for Kernahan from behind. Yes, a good grab.
Well, this boy, of course, as we know, he's one of the best marks in Australia, and Campbell took quite a while to see him there, but Kernahan really had his eyes, and that was a good commitment, and he was too strong.
Well, that's his 4th mark. Stephen Kernahan, the vice-captain of the South Australian side, has his chance for his 3rd goal.
Lou.
Notched one in the first quarter. Has already had one in this quarter.
Lou, if this goes through, I think Victoria may need, I don't know what they'll need.
They need Aspros. I don't think you want to name a good stiff drink.
Yes, I think this could be the match seal of this goal.
There's Kernahan coming in from about 12 or 13 metres out. Let's see what he can do with it. There's no doubt about that. That's another goal.
What a
concern. 56 points the difference. Williams to Silvani. He's got the mark, but Victoria finding it hard to score a goal. Over to Healy now. There's a chance now for Morris from a long way out, up towards Salmon and Hughes, but it's too far for Salmon. Campbell comes in. He's got a ton of pace too. Back to Danny Hughes. Actually hit Watson in the back of the head with the ball, or the back part of his body, and the ball is out of bounds.
He's a desperate player back there, Hughes. He just wants to get rid of that ball.
Well, he's a real defender.
Yes, he certainly is. He's done a great job on Salmon.
Well, Salmon had plenty of trouble getting a kick. Ball back now to Waitman. Abuse, I should say. Abuse drives it up, but no one there. Oh, they had a clash, the two South Australians. They're going out for Waitman to score a goal.
Hick
screws it back, but off target and through for 1 point.
I'm a bit worried about South Australia's back play on those boundary throw-ins. We're not covering the defence at all.
Well, I wouldn't be worried with the score 80 to 27. I'd be sitting back having a snooze if I was at one of you, Neil. I'm not worried at all. The ball back into play. Anyway, it's great to see Neil Curley still a favourite with his... still loves his own state. That's great. Back it comes to Healy. A long hand pass looking for Watson. Oh, down goes a player there for South Australia. Finally picked up now by Osborne. A juggle by Williams. He's in plenty of trouble. They soon collar him. And a little Platten overruns the ball. A second chance to Williams, but a shocking kick. And the ball taken away from the danger zone by the South Australian defence. Out it comes towards the wing position. And the ball driven back there by Mickett. Over the half-forward line. And Roos, once again, he's been superb in this third quarter. That's his 6th mark. Healy again. Looking there for Williams. Takes the mark out at half-forward. Decides to play on. Looking for a lead here now. There's Brewer. Flies. They all pick in the raspberry. The crowd as the ball comes back now to Waitman. A hand pass coming over to Morris. A goal.
Going on down there on the Victorian forward line.
Well, that's a good shot, isn't it?
And I'll give you the guess who's underneath the bottom of it.
Bottoms up, would you say?
Well, I think Dermot Burton's down there. I can see Danny Hughes.
It was L2. They're still having their 15 rounder.
Leslie, well, they've been at it all night. Leslie, number 17 for South Australia, and Dermot Burton. Dermot Burton's still going mad. But he did get a nasty one just before half-time. His face was bleeding pretty badly.
That was a fair bump, Lou. There was a good shoulder bump by Hughes coming through, and you've got to expect that in football. The thing is then to top that, get your concentration back and get onto the ball game. Like they need Burton providing drive through the forward line, and at the moment he's not doing that.
Yeah, there's going to be some sick and sorry boys, I think, in that dressing room tonight. Have a look at the mark across the face there of Martin Leslie.
Well, Leslie's not letting up a bit. He's still going after him. He said, don't keep that up, son. I'm going to be on your shoulder all day.
I think there might be a competition to see who's going to get the most war paint on them down there.
They don't hurt those after the game. They're only little scratches.
Burton's got another one on top of the forehead too.
They'll be having a drink after the game.
Graham Corns would naturally be very pleased with his side's performance tonight. It's been a great performance. If they were racehorses, they would have been squabbed after the way they played against New South Wales.
Yeah, well, I think once again, we're underestimating New South Wales. Their commitment is very good.
Well, they've dominated so far in the game, South Australia, and they continue to. 80 playing 33 into time on in the quarter. Alvin trying to peg back Lindner on this occasion, but Lindner picks it up, sweeps onto the right boot in towards the square, but there's nobody home. And Healy takes a mark there in that last line of defence.
He's lifted his game this quarter.
Gets it across to Roos. Here's the fella that's kept Victoria in the game in the back line. Looking out here for Williams. Intercepted here by McIntosh. McIntosh all the time in the world dodges around Roos onto the left boot. Have a look at this one go up into the square. Kernahan!
Goal. I think it's a goal.
Well, it's either a mark or a goal, one or the other.
It's a goal now.
I'd give it to Kernahan. There you are, it's Victoria versus South Australia. Here, I'll pay Kernahan for the mark and you can have the goal.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it. He had a good each-way bet, Curly, that time, didn't he?
I thought he marked it through the goal square, but he's on a bit of a tight angle here. Like this is not a gimme goal. He's got to concentrate and do the right thing.
I wish we were close enough so I could have an argument with him. We're not close enough to put up a fair dinkum argument.
I'm glad you're sitting in the middle here, Louis, but Kernahan's going to have his 11th kick. No problems. That's good enough. The goal umpire signals full point. South Australia puts their 13th on the board. They now go to 13.886. Victoria 5.333, and the bird's flown for mine for Victoria.
That was a bad blemish by Roos. He had control. He had a free leg. He could have delivered that ball beautifully to his teammate, but he failed to do that. He kicked the ball behind. McIntosh swooped on it, got around and delivered the ball beautifully to Kernahan, the goal square.
And that's Kernahan's third goal, Louis, in that quarter. He's got 4 to his credit for the game.
Well, great play. They've had many good players tonight. 23 minutes gone of this third quarter, and I would say it's just about all over bar the shouting. 13.886 to 5.333. What a bath Victoria getting.
Oh, they'll keep at it, Lou. They won't give in.
Well, they've got to keep at it, but I'm not going back. I'm not waiting for Ted Whitten to get home. I couldn't stand him tonight. Drive a man mad. Ball comes out from Hughes. And it's Healy again driving it over the half-forward line, but a good mark taken there by Butler.
Boys played well.
Well, all the stars have been covered tonight. A hand pass back to Leslie. That's Dermot Burton's best mate. But I suppose after the game they'll be as happy as they'll have a drink together.
Beautiful.
Knocked out again. Ball driven down by South Australia to their half-forward line. There's Kernahan. Nearly grabbed that one. Picked up by Hall. Back it goes to Mew, but that's a wobbly old kick. He kicked it anywhere. Morris tries to smother it. Back to Bolton. Kernahan's grabbed by Bolton. Couldn't get clear. Langford couldn't get a kick either. So that's the pressure they're putting on Victoria. They can't get clear to do something with the ball. And a good mark to Silvano. I think he's played fairly well this quarter.
He's worked hard.
Worked really hard. Up it goes over the centre half-forward position. Salmon flew, lost sight of it. Timmy Watson was strong play, but there's no one there. There's the two Powlsy, Wellesley, Burton and Leslie going after it. They both miss it. There's a chance there for a goal for Salmon. But he's off target, and it's through for 1 point, so it's not the big stake. 5 goals, 4-34 as the siren sounds to end the third quarter. At least Victoria will be kicking with the breeze in the last quarter, but I don't like their chances. 13.886 South Australia.
It's been a good performance by South Australia. A lot of pressure out there, and they haven't noodled yet. They're going
justifying the claim of champions, and they are the reigning champions and defending champions at the moment. At the way they're going, they look like being the champions again for 1988 in this bicentennial clash. Keeping Victoria well out of the game. Let's have a look at the scores. 5-4-34 Victoria. Disappointing. No one would have thought this. 13.886. South Australia, they're not only winning the battle for the ball, they're winning on the scoreboard, and to me they're also winning the battles that are on the ground. Dermot Brereton having some great altercations down there with his opponent, and I dare say we're going to see plenty more before the night goes by. The curtain raiser, well, let's say the second division final, which was played a little bit earlier on tonight. The Northern Territory put up a tremendous performance, some great football skills from the boys up there. 17-10-112 to 9-13-67. The VFA would have gone into the game as favourites, I'm sure. So congratulations to the Northern Territory. Stephen Phillips and Barry Breen are down there with the Victorian think tank. We'll cross down to them now.
Thank you, Rod. Pretty hard work if you're a Victorian down on this boundary line, but I was out listening to the Victorians, and Dermot Brereton's got egg on his face and a big egg on his forehead that's bleeding.
He's certainly been well covered by Leslie tonight, Stephen, and has hardly had a touch. South Australia have almost played a near-perfect game of football across the centre. Their rovers, their ruckman in Micken, their backline Hughes doing a great job on Salmon, and really I can't see Victoria getting out of this game at the moment.
They're full of words, the Victorians, at three-quarter time. They think they can make up the leeway, but it is really very hard to see because their running players, apart from Healy, have hardly been sighted.
Well, the problem is, Stephen, they haven't got any winners at all over the ground. So it's very hard to win a game of football if you haven't got people in positions winning possession of the ball. And I really think that they will be struggling, and South Australia extremely confident at three-quarter time, and I must say I'm extremely impressed with the way Graham Corns handles his players. Really great.
Well, we've got just over 20 minutes to go in the commentary position. Back to you, Louis.
Thank you very much, Stephen, and of course I think Victoria think they can win it. They must believe in fairies. 13.886 to Victoria, 5-4-34, a difference of 52 points. Victoria kicking with the breeze. They've got Roos at centre half forward now. He played a great third quarter in defence. The ball knocked as they go for Healy. A long hand pass coming over to Harris. An open goal, but the ball didn't bounce his way. And it's forced. This is Leslie coming after it, and the ball is out of bounds. Well, it's certainly not your night when it happens like that.
Yeah, that's right.
When you're hot, and when you're not, you're not. The ball out of bounds about 50 metres around from the Victorian goal, and boy, do they need a couple in a hurry now. Johnny Platt played a great game. He's kicked three. Little Harris has got a chance to make amends. He's about 45 to 50 metres out. I don't think he'll make the distance.
I'd say he's too far from there, Lou.
He's only a little bloke. He's not the longest kick in the world. It's the seventh kick as he boots the ball I think he stretched too hard that time and pushed it out of bounds on the full, and the free kick will go down there to Leslie in the back pocket.
He had to keep that ball in play.
Just over the minute mark of this last quarter, and everyone counts for Victoria, 86-34. What a bath they're getting. At the back that time was Roos, knocked two of his own teammates down, but they've been doing that all night, Victoria.
Very happy to have the ball there, South Australia.
South Australia's given them a football lesson. They can't hold their little men. Their big men have played well. Their defence has been superb. They've really tightened up on the Vics. Danny Hughes and his mates, Leslie and all those other boys down there. There's Hughes and Salmon going, but punched out by Hughes. Salmon goes down. Silvani forced his way through, but Waitman's collared. They've been doing that all night to him too. He can't get out. And this is how they're bottling up play, and the Victorian attackers can't get clear.
Yeah, they've really controlled those packs tonight, Lou. The South Australian defence has been superb.
So it'll be a ball up about 30 metres out. Knocked out by Salmon, a chance for Morris, picked up that time by Williams, but well smothered, a beautiful smother that time by Danny Hughes.
Played a superb game, Hughes. He's really been desperate back there.
Has Salmon kicked the goal yet? Two goals. Well, he's been a pretty quiet player, but that hasn't been delivered to him too well either, in fairness to Salmon. Ball knocked out to Waitman, a shot at goal. This could be the one that starts the Vics on their way. Let's hope it is.
Beautiful snap by Waitman. That's about the first, well, the only constructive thing he's done all night. He really read that ball beautifully, and a true Rovers snap. That may get them going.
Just over 2 minutes gone of this last quarter, 13-8-86 to Victoria, 6-4-40. That's the difference of what, 46 points. It's a lot of points.
Quite a lot, yeah.
It's been a long week, Louis.
Been a long week. It'll be longer a trip home for the Vics if they get a thrashing here tonight. I don't be sitting on the plane next to the coach or the selectors.
Ball's down the centre of the ground. Here's the tough man, McIntosh. Drives it up towards centre half forward. Out in front here of Tony Hall. Comes back. Alvin overruns the ball. The Victorians can't do much right at all at the moment. Still buttering up well, Alvin. Pushed in the back. Umpire will put a whistle on play, and the free kick will go Alvin's way. And Tommy Alvin will get the free kick on half-back flank, and a 15-metre penalty to go with it.
I see Muse back on the ground on Hall, and of course Roos back to centre half forward.
Alvin moving it quickly. Silvani tried hard.
Done well.
Left foot towards centre half forward. Brereton's caught flat-footed. And Martin Leslie comes across and takes a mark. There's plenty of South Australians out there. They can raffle this one. Salisbury gets the left boot to it towards centre wing. Now it's 2-on-1 from behind. But I think the nudge out will go South Australians' way, or is he going to pay the mark to Healy?
It's a free kick.
I think it'll go Victoria's way, actually. The man in front got the nudge out.
This is where Dermot's got to pay attention to the ball more. He's been caught out of position because he's not concentrating enough on the game further afield.
Well, he blames Silvani then for not kicking the right direction, but you've got to make the move yourself.
Well, Silvani's forced onto his left leg. He's got to allow for that.
Well, they drive the ball forward. Looking for Salmon at centre half forward. To the ground. Forced forward. Here's a chance now for Osmond to pick it up. Cleverly gets around. Now he's got no one to give it to. Now puts it onto the right boot. Out to the open spaces. Now he's found a player. And a beautiful mark by Russell Morris. Diving mark by Morris is 45 metres out. Almost on the boundary line.
And he can kick this goal.
There was no one in the square, and it was good positioning, actually. He had no one to give it to. Morris puts the ball on its way. Oh, it's a beautiful sort of a kick, too. Is it going to hold up? Brereton from behind forces it through from behind.
I see Nailey often pays on for South Australia. Pays with his fresh legs. He could be a valuable runner into this breeze.
Danny Hughes will bring the ball back into play for South Australia. 86 plays 41. I can't see Victoria getting back into this game, Louis, even though I'd like to see them. The free kick's going to go South Australia's way, and it'll go to Bubner. Bubner got a touch out and a 15-metre penalty. They're pretty liberal with these 15-metre penalties tonight, but they're on, so they've got to be paid out to Bradley. Bradley a little bit further up from centre wing. He's on half-back flank. Hughes is on the mark for Victoria.
Yeah, well, South Australia want to keep the ball moving. They don't want to become stagnant and stopping. This sort of stuff is okay, but they've got to keep the pressure on.
Short passes on to Micken. It's only travel about 20 metres. I tend to agree with you, though. While they're flowing, they should keep it moving. Looking for Kernahan from behind. Good grab. Tony Hall. Gee, he's been a great player. He's one of the players in this carnival that's impressed me. He's kicked 3 goals so far in the match. Nice mark. Finds teammate here in McDermott. Now, McDermott is going to put this one up into the square, I would envisage, looking for Lindner or Kernahan. Double-barreled attack. It's going to go to the top of Lindner. Kernahan's the man in the band. To the ground. Micken the handball out to Platten. Danger. Platten to the left boot. Top line. Swinging back. No. It's offline. So another behind goes on. 86 playing 42. 87 playing 41. We'll try that one.
Well, of course, now with Roos off Hall, he could well become another damaging player up there, and I guess Goggin had to take the chance to try and bolster his attack.
Just on the 6-minute mark. Corns getting a bit anxious. I wouldn't worry if I was he. Out it goes now. Madden couldn't hold that mark, but he's tried very hard. Kicked off the ground by Tommy Alvin. Out towards the wing position. Will beat them all and out of bounds. So it's out of bounds on the centre wing. 87 plays 41, just over the 6-minute mark. They're only 20-minute quarters with time on. So if Victoria are going to have a chance, they better get a couple in a hurry. Williams gets it out to Healy. Healy's played better since half-time too. And this is Bubner. Just let that one fly anywhere. There wasn't a Victorian player within Cooey then. Knocked out by Williams, away from McIntosh, and the ball is out of bounds.
Yes, well, Victoria have got to get more goals in this last remaining bit of quarter than they have in 3 quarters, so it's a big contract.
There's the Big Dipper. He hasn't been in much tonight either. Down goes Abernathy, kicked off the ground. Back it comes to Silvani. Picked up by Bubner again. Nearly got a trip, but it's over to McIntosh. A high kick up there towards Langford, and Kernahan is finally forced out of bounds again. South Australia gradually working it around towards their half-forward. And, of course, this sort of play is right up their alley because Victoria are not making any leeway on that big margin they've got. They're far ahead of them, they are. So it'll be a ball up on that half-forward line, up towards their half-forward line, but it's a long way out from their goal.
I think Victoria just got to take chances now with running handball. They've just got to attempt something to get the game moving.
I notice on this side of the ground, the member side, there's not one player on that side past the centre circle, Neil.
Well, that's the side Victoria have got to attack from.
There's the ball kicked up by Madden. And that's a good mark by Williams. Good, strong mark. Williams boots it down towards Salmon. Got his hands, but got one right behind the ear from Danny Hughes, but the umpire didn't take much notice of that. Picked up by McGuinness out there at half-back. It's no good waiting for him to come down to Abernathy. Back to McGuinness. They're giving a Victoria football leg. This is Burgess going for a hand pass. Back it goes over there to Abernathy, and the ball knocked to McGuinness. It was, and the ball knocked out of bounds. So into this quarter by over 8 minutes. It's 13-9-87 South Australia, and Victoria looking mighty sick as this last quarter progresses. 6-5-41.
In the back of the pack, it was McDermott getting it down for South Australia. The handball's out. Trying to pick it up there is McGuinness. He can't control it.
That's as good as a kick out there for South Australia.
Well, South Australia have got the runners, Neil.
Yeah, they're content to bottle this quarter up. It's Victoria that have to do the attacking.
The ball in again. Madden and Megan had a great duel all night. Madden got the better of that one. Picked up here by McIntosh. Inland to McDermott. Right foot, back to centre wing. There's 2 of them. Plenty of talk, and it's worked. Abernathy has the kick on centre wing. This is Abernathy's 10th kick. Drives it to that half-forward flank. Whistle's gone. No, play on. Tap to the ground here by Hall. Now a chance here for Campbell. Campbell driving it back, looking for Kernahan. And Kernahan's mark. Will he move it quickly? He does. Into the square. There's nobody able to go and bring it back.
That's ridiculous, umpiring, playing the shepherd. The ball's coming in. The South Australian boy stood his ground. That's ridiculous umpiring.
The free kick will go Victoria's way. And Stephen Kernahan not too happy with that as Robert Di Domenico is about to come back on. I thought he'd had a whack across the mouth there for a moment. It's a red mouth cut. The ball's into the centre of the ground. Good kick on that occasion. At the back, dragged in by Bubner.
Had a great game, Bubner, since coming onto the ground.
He's very
really
impressive.
My word.
Bubner. This is his 10th possession for the game. Bubner down here looking for Hall. Oh, good mark too. Made great position.
Well, Victoria paying a penalty, of course, of taking Roos off this boy.
Now, Tony Hall has 3 goals to his credit. I believe he's a little too far out to score, but he'll put it right into the square. Right foot drop punt holding up. Actually, a little bit of breeze up there and it's falling well short, but Linda's dragged one in from the back. 3 Victorians in front, and Linda's judgment was superb. The ball just floated in front. Oh, what an exciting player to watch on his night.
Yes. He certainly is. This boy, the Victorian public haven't seen the best of him yet. He really can. When he's on his night, he really can play footy. McIntosh coming off, who's played a great game in the centre. It's a risky move by Graham Corns.
That's the roar of the crowd you can hear.
But I think it's too risky now. With Jarman comes off the ground, I'd like to be sure of winning catch follow this weekend.
Well, he's got to kick the goal, Lou.
Well, let's see whether, of course, Linda can get this goal. This will be his 3rd if he's true. Right foot on its way. Is he going to stay inside? No. So South Australia 13-10-88. Victoria 6-5-41, and Bruce Linda disgusted with himself, but should be justly proud of his efforts in this game here tonight. Crawley brings the ball back into play.
47 points the difference.
Oh, better.
Ball tapped out by Big Micken. That's Burgess going after. He's grabbed. There's plenty of scrambly play now as DP Domenico is on the ground again.
He's had a bad night, Dipper.
Ball up at that centre half forward position, or shorter centre half forward for South Australia. This suits South Australia, this big lead they've got, as Morris gets a hurried kick, but it's smothered. And there'll be a free kick. It'll go to Healy.
Bit sore on the leg, too.
Well, they look pretty tired as it comes out now to Watson. It's too high. And there's a chance now for Jarman to go for a long hand pass. Over there to McGuinness. Taps the ball on. Watson's got it on the boundary line, but he couldn't put the brakes on in time, and he goes over the line. So it'll be a throw-in from the centre wing position. This sort of play is certainly suiting South Australia, and Healy certainly hobbling around. It doesn't look 100% now.
Oh, dropped him. He dropped him.
Ace copped it. Beauty.
And the ball goes back, and a good mark taken here by Bradley. So Bradley with the ball now up there on that half-forward line, a good distance out from goal. But he'd go, I think he should go for a long kick.
Hey, old Dipper made his
Gone for a short one. Chance there for the skipper to take it for South Australia. He does. McDermott right on the boundary line. Still a heck of a way out from goal, but they don't care. They're leading by 47 points, and they've got the championship in the bag. Oh, that's Rouge going up. Kernahan with a goal. I would say a goal to South Australia.
Salmon into the ruck into the centre of the ground, but Platten sharked it. Driven it out here to the half-forward flank. Trying to trap it. Although he's trapped himself, Pays gets it in towards the goal square, but it's going to be offline. Linda was up before acceptances and forced over the line. Good defensive work there by Victoria. He's got some spring from a standing start, Neil, hasn't he?
Oh, yes, both Hall and Linda can jump. They're dangerous players, but I don't think Victoria can win this game now.
I reckon you're right.
Bring the ball. There's a good kick. Kernahan comes out from full forward. The ball just seems to follow him all around the ground.
Oh.
And
free kick to Kernahan.
The free kick will go South Australia's way. I didn't see what that was for, actually.
Umpire indicated he had hold of his leg.
All right, the short's on. Dacos is coming off the ground for Victoria. Short passes on from Kernahan and found its mark in Tony Burgess.
He'll put this in the goal square.
Burgess, long kick, holding up high, swinging back towards centre half forward. Coming across the front of the pack there was Salmon. He's been put onto the ball. Oh, here's a chance here for Linda. The easy one, spins around on the right foot. This will be miraculous if it goes. Will it bounce the other way? No, it doesn't. So South Australia add another behind. 14-12, 96 to 6-5-41.
And doing all the attacking, which is the important thing as far as South Australia is concerned.
Victoria, Hughes on his own, but the ball's going to be brought back. The umpire hadn't finished waving the flag.
Well, Lou, there's the old story. You don't back racehorses and you don't back football teams. Who would have thought that we'd see this performance tonight after Victoria's great performance on Wednesday night?
Well, there was some pretty smart money around the town this morning, Neil Curley, that South Australia could cause this boil over today, because Victoria would have definitely gone into the game as the favourites. Out here to Abernathy. Gets it back. It's high. It's all Victoria, though. Watson has the chance on the chest. Oh, it almost came out.
And we dropped it.
Yes, that's how they're playing. They're not too certain.
They're not playing with any confidence at all, Victoria, and they've been run off their feet.
Bit tough on Platten. Fifth kick for Watson. Been very quiet today. Drives it up here looking for Madden. Over the top of the pack trying to bring in. There was Rouge. They've moved him to the forward zone to the open spaces, and it's going to go over the line and out of bounds, and it was all South Australia. It only had to go their way. I think they'd have cleared it back to whence it came before. Yes. Off the ground is Healy.
Well, he looked pretty sore out there in the that last quarter. 17 kicks. He did pretty well after half-time.
Yes, he worked hard.
Worked very hard indeed. But this defence of... there's a wrestle going on, I think, between... let me see who it is this time down there.
Don't worry about that.
It's Salisbury, but don't worry about down there's a chance here for little Royal to take the mark, and he got a free kick into the bargain. They're still resting down there, these two guys.
Salisbury's another one I wouldn't tackle with.
Salisbury and Waitman having a wrestling match, but it's all over now. I wouldn't be fighting here tonight with the result like it is for Victoria. I'd be going off the ground with my head between my legs.
That may well happen out there, Lou. There's not going to be too many proud Victorians out there tonight.
Certainly not. This is a kick by Royal, won't make the distance. Punched out again. That defence has been superb. Burton on the top of the pack, but he's been very quiet. They certainly collar him. And they're stacking up there as Platten comes out with the ball. That's what they've been doing all night. Over it goes to Abernathy. Abernathy drives it out wide, looking for his skipper, McDermott. But there's a good mark take now. Has he got it, Hall? Yes, he's marked it. And that's a great mark to Hall. They've been too brilliant all over the ground. Even though we're Victorians, you've got to give credit where it's due.
Gee, Kernan can't get this ball.
There's a good mark taken there by Ruse. He hasn't played a bad game either. 7 marks he's had, and we haven't had many good players. Victoria's Royal goes for a hand pass. He misdirected that. Paulie went with that. Was Langdon went without the ball. Back it goes to Bradley. One it comes back to Jarman. A hand pass back to Bradley. Again to Ace. They're doing as they like. There's a chance for McDermott to go for a long hand pass to Kernan for goal number 6, and he's got it, or has he missed it? A goal.
I don't.
15-12, 102, 6-5, 41. Play underway again. Dacos back onto the ground. Players desperate to try and get rid of the ball. Plenty of weight still being thrown around. Well, the Dippy had a minute go, and Andrew Jarman having a few words out there, but the umpire's got control of it.
We just got a message from Ansett, or not Ansett, from Australian Airlines. They got the players booked on the plane early in the morning. They're all sitting on the wing.
There's a chance for Victoria. Picked up here by Barry Royal. Smothered to Waitman, to Dacos. Dacos has a shot from 40. That's the luck of the Victorians. Running into an open goal from 30 metres out.
2 beautiful blocks off the boot then by the South Australians. My word, they've been a committed side tonight, and full marks to Coach Graham Corns. He's really worked this side up to peak performance tonight.
Oh, the Clara Racehorses, I think you'd have the squad with Louis.
I reckon you would. The ball back into play again. Deep here to Domenico. Back it goes to Morris. A hurried kick, but look how they're performing. They can't do a thing right. The ball is out of bounds. Time running out now, just on the 18.5-minute mark. It's South Australia with the championship well in hand. 15-12, 102 to Victoria. I feel ashamed to read this score out. 6-6-42 as the ball goes back towards Big Sam, and one-handed, no good, over to McDermott, back to Burgess. Ball going towards the boundary line. It's out of bounds. It doesn't worry South Australia.
I've always said, Lou, if you are good enough to put the Victorians under pressure, they make mistakes just the same as any other player.
Billy Goggin will be a very sad man tonight.
He'll be shattered.
Just the ball picked up by Watson, a hand pass coming over to Elvin, but that was a bad one. They've made a ton of mistakes. Down goes Bradley. He can't get clear. Elvin's grabbed 2, and the umpire said it'll be a free kick to Tommy Elvin out there on that half-forward line, but a heck of a distance out from goal.
Yes, there's no way he can kick it. Of course, Salmon and Burton, he's only hoped.
There's the lead coming up now. Picked up again by Salisbury. Out towards McDermott and Watson. It's Watson coming out with the ball. A good hand pass to Royal. Back to Elvin.
Wow.
But they're just going through the motions, Victoria. It's a waste of time because these South Australians, the Crow Eaters, got him by the throat.
Yeah, there's been a superb performance out there tonight by every boy in the red jumper.
Desperation by Salisbury on that occasion. The ball being brought into play again. It's Salmon into the ruck against Micken. Waitman in there desperately trying to get it out. Elvin also for Victoria. Dippy Domenico gets it, but the umpires call the whistle on play.
Oh, there'll be some proud boys here tonight.
Oh, look, they deserve every accolade they get, South Australia, Neil. They've made the play. They've won all around the ground. Victoria not giving up, though. They drive it back towards the full forward zone. Big Madden there, can't bring it to the ground, but here's Hughes. But a great player for his side tonight. Gets hit after he gets rid of the ball, but Leslie lets fly across to Micken. Micken finds the shorts out here to centre wing. Picked up here by the South Australian wingman. Out here looking for a player here in Pays, who dropped a sitter. Dropped a few like that the other night. This lets Victoria in. Dacos in there trying to get it back. The Pays hasn't given up. Good desperation. The trouble is it's gone Victoria's way. Onto the left boot here of View. It's high. Oh, good strong mark. Williams late on the scene.
Well, there's not too much you can say about this South Australian performance tonight. It's been absolutely superb. It's the best one I've seen in my association, apart from the one in the MCG quite a year.
He's a little bit quiet after half-time, but had a good first half. Hayes gets the ball moving quickly, almost in slow motion. Hughes tries to do his best to get the ball. He's going to force it over the line. Plenty of weight being used. Ooh, gets tumbled into the fence there.
Didn't need that one, Bruce.
And the free kick's going to go Bewes' way too. So Andy Bewes from the back pocket position comes up to half-back flank, and the free kick will be paid further up the ground as 2 players run across the mark. The kick here is going to go in the direction of Barry Royal. No, it's going back to Bewes in 15 metres. Bewes to centre wing, grandstand side, looking for Silvani. Trying hard. The ball's been pushed over the line and out of bounds. Good desperation there from Bugby.
Just over the 21-minute mark. About 3 minutes to go, 3 or 4 minutes to go, and it's 60 points the difference. That's 10 goals. 10 goals, Victoria down. And South Australia, I should say, are the champs for 1988. Dacos's grab took a fortnight to get rid of that, and the umpire said hold my ball, and rightly so too. And that's how they've played all night, Victoria.
Yeah, but hasn't South Australia's pressure and chasing been tremendous? They just haven't allowed them to get clear.
Well, they've really gone after the Victorians, and their defence has been superb. Their small men have run them off their feet. Or punched out by Mew. That was a desperation job. Back it comes now to Watson on the line. Got one in the back, but the umpire didn't worry about that. So it's out of bounds about 70 metres around from the South Australian goal. But just look at their score. 15-12, 102 to Victoria, 6-6-42. As we just get over the 22-minute mark. So about 2.5 minutes to go, I would say, as the ball comes back to Dacos. There's the siren. And South Australia are the champ for 1988. 15-12, 102 to Victoria. Swamped, 6 goals, 6-42. And what a victory it was for South Australia. Got off to a great start in that first quarter. Victoria never in the race, even though they kicked the first goal against the Breeze. There's Graham Corns, a very proud man. I think he's only coached them 3 times against Victoria and won 3 times. So that's a 100% record. You know, when we saw them play the other night, we may have underestimated New South Wales' performance because they did beat Western Australia. And we said, oh, they couldn't possibly beat Victoria, but they've really killed them. And Graham Corns giving a salute to the crowd, and they're loving every moment of it. Look at it. He should be a very proud man. I can see a tear or two in those eyes, Rob.
Well, they're certainly proud. And the thing is, there was an ideal preparation for South Australia. They had a pretty average performance on Thursday night. The Vics had a great performance. They'd be thinking and reading about that. And the South Australian boys will be thinking about their performance and reading how badly they played, and they would have prepared themselves very, very well for this game. And there was some good study and homework done by Coach Graham Corns. He had his little men all over the ground, productive. He controlled the packs around the ground, and their running play was superb. And of course, their defence, supported by their running players, was really fantastic.
Well, there's something our cameras didn't pick up there. Robert Dibby had a minute ago going across to his Hawthorn teammates for South Australia, hugging one another. So the camaraderie and sportsmanship still out there. We'll be back with presentations and wrapping up this great game of football here tonight after this break. Well, the thunder and the noise in the background, as I think everyone here has been supporting South Australia tonight. They're screaming out, we are the champions, and they thoroughly deserve the tag as champions here tonight because South Australia, Louis, have defended their title in brilliant fashion.
I must say that, even though it hurts being a staunch Victorian. There's the score. Got a nice thrashing by 60 points, and congratulations to South Australia. They're the real true Australian champions.
Well, down at the presentation area, Maxie Walker is about to take over, Max, so it's down to you to introduce everyone down there to us.
Well, what an amazing atmosphere it is here. And I guess if you're a South Australian, it speaks for itself. Just a pity, I guess, that a few more of you weren't along to see your team take out the title. They defended their title here tonight as the #1 team in the #1 division. They are now champions of Australia. For their efforts over the last 4 days and in tonight's final against Victoria, they win $40,000. Victoria, for running up, get $25,000. And if I could now have the president of the National Football League, Mr. Vince Jovic, he could help me make the presentation to the captain of the South Australian team, Chris McDermott. If we could have Chris McDermott along, please. Vince, over to you.
South Australia, Australian champions. Congratulations.
Chris, you're not going to get away that easily. Did you really expect it to be such an easy win for you tonight?
Yeah, it wasn't easy. You know, we expected a hard game from the Vics, and it certainly was that. You know, it was very physical, and to our blokes' credit, they snapped it up and gave back as good as they got, and you know, come up victors.
Well, what exactly did Graham Corns, the coach, say to you to bring about this reversal of form? You struggled a little bit against New South Wales.
Yes, well, New South Wales put up a great fight, but you know, you're only as he says, you're only as good as your next game. We knew today was going to be hard, and you know, you couldn't meet a more fiercely loyal bloke to South Australia than Graham Corns. It doesn't help but rub off to the players.
Well, Chris, the big white V here, does that do something special to you when they're out there, they're the opposition?
I think it's obvious it does something to all of us, and you know, you lift that little bit extra when you play them, and it sure is worth it.
Congratulations, Chris, and congratulations to all the South Australian team. Thank you very much to Vince. Well, we've got the whole lads up here, all the South Australian team. Hey, Johnny. Well, we've got just a couple of... How many guys can we get on a dais here at the moment? Well, if we could just have just a little bit of suave and decorum, fellas, I'll read the All-Australian team out. I've had it specially typed up here. And from the back line, S. Malaxis, WA. D. Hughes, SA. M. Leslie, SA. D. Crawley, Victoria, half-back flank. P. Ruse, centre half-back, Victoria. G. Whittlesey, SA. Centre line, D. Murphy, New South Wales. T. Warris, VFA. M. McLean, Northern Territory. Half forwards, Terry Danaher. S. Kernahan, SA Captain T. Hall. T. Hall on the other half forward flank. Forwards, D. Waitman, Victoria Vice Captain. Paul Salmon, Victoria. B. Linda, SA. From the ruck line, S. Madden, Victoria. G. Healy, Victoria. Rover, J. Platten, SA. Interchange, M. Micken, SA. A. McGuinness, SA. M. Long, NT, and Maurice Rioli, NT. So that's the All-Australian team. Congratulations to all of those players. And now for the most prestigious award of the lot. Again, if I could ask Vince to come along and announce the Tassie medal winner, and that is for the best player in the Carnival.
Paul Salmon, Victoria.
Well, if we could have Paul Salmon along, the giant Victorian forward.
Congratulations, Paul. Well done.
Congratulations to Paul Salmon, the Tassie medalist winner, the best player in the Carnival for 1988. And Paul, I guess I better put the microphone up a fraction. It must be a bit of disappointment to you to lose the game, but from your own point of view, it must be nice to receive an accolade like this.
Well, honestly, winning the Carnival was all that mattered, and we've lost tonight, and that just hurts so much. Maybe I'll appreciate it one day. You know, it just hurts a lot to lose. Congratulations to South Australia, though.
And it was a pretty tough game out there. Did you feel that South Australia were going to come at you that hard?
Oh, yes, certainly. They're a very talented side, and you know, we respect them, and we expected it. It probably, probably hurts a bit at the moment, but maybe, hopefully next year we'll get you back.
Thank you very much, Paul, and congratulations. Well, for every contest, I guess there's a winner and a loser. Congratulations to South Australia again, and congratulations to everyone involved in putting this carnival together. From the ground here, I think we're going to see a lap of honour, are we, by the South Australian team. They're going to run around, and whilst they're moving around, that finishes the bits and pieces from down here on the ground. Let's go back to the commentary position up there and Rob Gaylard. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Maxie, and congratulations to South Australia. And just having a look at that All-Australian team, Louis, there's some stars amongst there.
Well, there's certainly is some stars amongst that line-up, and of course, let's say congratulations to all those players and to Paul Salmon winning the Tassie medal. But most of all, South Australia proved themselves true champions, and there was an element of doubt about them performing well tonight because of their poor performance against New South Wales. But then again, we didn't realise the strength and the ability of New South Wales. They've put up a tremendous performance. They didn't finish on the bottom, and they didn't disgrace themselves. They've done a lot for football. But South Australia are now the true champions, and congratulations to Graham Corns, because he's done a wonderful job. He's coached them for 3 goes against Victoria and 100% victory. You can't do any more than that. But as a Victorian, and we're over here, we've got a cop it sweet, but by golly, I'll tell you it hurts. And I only hope that they don't sit the players on the plane going home, because they have to do something about it.
Well, Louis, thanks. It's been great working with you, and of course to
right?
Neil Curley. And we've had a great team over here for this, what I would say is probably one of the best football carnivals that we've seen for a long, long, long time. Just before we do go, let's have a recap of some of the games that have been over this particular week. As we've said before, it's been a feast of football over this particular carnival. Earlier on, of course, New South Wales, in probably one of the better games of the carnival, defeated Western Australia. And of course, the Northern Territory also took out the second division game a little bit earlier on. New South Wales and Western Australia, we might have a look at the scores very, very shortly. But Louis, New South Wales, they served it right up to South Australia a little bit earlier on in the week. And, you know, as we said earlier on before, you know, you would have almost swabbed South Australia if you thought...
Well, I don't know if they were foxing or not, but then again, we could have underestimated New South Wales' strength, but they certainly were a different side.